Okay. So, when last we left off here, we had just made some pretty big breakthroughs on the family tree here for the Roottrees. We kind of figured out a lot of the whole left side of the board here, which was awesome. We've made some incredible progress, like really amazing progress. Why would I care about Ada Wong? Why wouldn't you care about Ada Wong? Come on, how could you not? How could you not care about Ada Wong? She's okay. So I'm getting distracted. Ada Wong's amazing. Come on, she's incredible. We can all agree on that, right? Right? V Nasty, what's good? How's it going? How's it going? Thomas, I'm out dress shopping with my sister. I'll be there soon, please. That's okay. I'm not going anywhere, V Nasty. I'm not going anywhere. I am sat. I am sat. He is sat. We will be here. Don't you worry. I'll try not to, blow this case wide open. I'll try not to do it too quickly, but no promises. No promises. Because I can just tell we're on the tip of a massive discovery, a huge breakthrough in the case. I really don't care about Ada at all, nor Leon much. I mean, Leon is cool from time to time, but that is it. I guess it's just noobs. I guess me and you just aren't going to see eye to eye on this. You're just not going to see the greatness that is Ada Wong the way I see her. But you know what? That's fine. It's understandable. Everyone has their opinions. They can be wrong, but everyone has their opinion. That's totally fine. Totally fine. I'm joking. All right, so where to start today? I do want to note we've killed it on this whole right side of the board. Pretty much the entire family, except for 2 spouses from Miracle Root Tree down, we have figured out, which is awesome. We need, honestly, some work still to be done here. Elias Jr. and Samantha's family tree kind of has needing some answers there, and then as well as Clancy Edwards lineage here. We need some answers here as well. So that's kind of where we're left off. Also this madness right here. This little eyesore. Don't know what I'm doing with this, so we got to work on that as well. You know what? That's what I want to start with. That's what I'd like to start with. A very simple, easy thing to just get us going today is Gwen Roottree's husband. We know her husband is someone that she worked with in her acting career, whose stage name is Wild Bill Williams. Now, we have figured out that's not his actual name, of course. There's no Bill, there's no William that comes up in our database of folks. So he clearly has a stage name, and we got to figure out what his actual name is. So, my first instinct is to go to the internet. I know we've done this already. We had searched for him many times, but I want to start from square one and then work backwards to the more complicated solutions, just so I don't miss anything that's actually super easy that's right in front of me. So let's start with Wild Bill Williams. All right. Starting here, find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. Site's not very well organized, yada, yada, yada. Wild Bill Williams was a leading man of some non-notable movies in the 1950s. He appeared in an adventure movie called Fortune Favors the Grave, which is yet to be released for home audiences. You don't find any additional information about that film. He was known for his good looks and off-screen romances, specifically with blondes. He'd married 4 different times to 4 different actresses. Jeesh. You scumbag. There's a famous Hollywood rumor that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party and that she was already aware of his reputation. Did you know trivia? Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France. He returned there often. Okay, so we have read that before. That is not new news. I'm a Leon and Shiva munch. Respect. I actually don't know who Shiva is yet. Well, where would I learn who Shiva is? Would that be Resident Evil 3? I'm curious. Unless it's like a spoiler, in which case I guess don't answer, but I feel like it has to be Resident Evil 3. Well, actually, that's not necessarily true at all. It could be 1. Yeah, it could be 1, 5, or 6 as well, because those aren't. I have not played those, and probably I'm not going to play those for some time because they don't have, they don't have any of the, they don't have remastered versions. Because I love the remastered versions. The remastered versions are so fun. They're so cool. Shiva is RE5. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll play the OG games at some point one day. It won't be soon because I'm not really drawn to them, but I'd like to at some point. Okay. So I know we've done this before as well, but let's look up Fortune Favors the Grave, one of Wild Bill Williams' movies. And unfortunately, that gets us back to the same page, which is fine. What if we just did Wild Bill? Probably the same page that we're on. We're just checking things out. It actually gave us nothing. Okay. Fair enough. Then oppositely, we're going to go to the periodicals. And we're going to go to Starlet, which is about actors and actresses. And we're going to type in Wild Bill Williams. All right. Let's see what this does for us. Wild Bill Williams was mentioned many times throughout the magazine's lifespan, with stories and gossip about who he had been seen with in public. Blondes, mostly. At least he's got a type, man. That's 3 specific passages stand out. The first mentions one of his first roles was under his... Boom! There it is. See? I told you guys, easy win. We get an easy win to get the ball rolling, and then we'll get cooking. All right, so his real name is Walter Forsyth. Hell of a name. I can see why he went with Wild Bill Williams. I can see why he changed it up to Wild Bill Williams. That makes a lot of sense. So there we go. We now know Gwen's spouse's name was actually Walter Forsyth. Now, with that being the case, we do know that these are her 2 sons. We know that these are their names. We don't know who is who in these photos. I'm guessing I have it correct because Ronald just looks older than Robert. And we know, according to this, that it's oldest to the left, youngest to the right, in order. So, assuming this is correct, I need to somehow figure out more about these 2 kids. Because as of right now, we know next to nothing. We've literally only got, as far as evidence about these kids, is this photo of Gwen with her 2 sons. That's all we've got. Now, I'm hoping there's something we can pull from somewhere. My first guess is probably to be looking up stuff about Gwen. Gwen was an actress, we all know. People love their actors. We idolize these people. So odds are that there is something written about them at some point. So let's try Gwen Roottrees, starting here. So a lot of this talked about her husband. You can actually see we've already been here. I've highlighted a lot of this. So we know this helped us figure out their names as well because they have alliteration, which we figured out means, they're both double R names. So Ronald Roottrees and Robert Roottrees. That helped with that. But still, we need more than what we have. So I'm curious. They're not actors, I think. So I'm thinking, what if I look them up on Starlet? Let's start with Ronald Roottrees. I'm going to guess it doesn't really get us anywhere, but I think it's worth a shot. Ronald Roottrees, nothing. And then Robert Roottrees, nothing. Unfortunate, but it was worth a shot. Now, just to, cross our T's and dot our I's, do our due diligence, I'm going to also check on the internet. So, Ronald Roottrees. And, of course, Robert Roottrees. Did I spell Robert right? Yes, I did. Nothing. Okay, that's fine. To be expected, honestly, to be expected. So, how else might we learn about who these fellas are? Let's look at the photo one more time. Is there any context clues we could possibly get from here? Yes, I remember that the biggest one was that who we assumed to be Ronald is wearing a film school jacket. Okay, that's something. He went to film school. If we could figure out what school he went to, that would be a start. How would I narrow this down? How would I figure this out better than what I'm doing is the tricky part of this now. I love Shiva so much. That's my twin. That's my twin. I never heard of this game before. This is amazing. I know it's an amazing game. It's called The Roottrees Are Dead. Puzzle game. We've been tasked. We've been tasked with. We're basically a PI, a private investigator, and we've been tasked by up to this point a unidentified third party. We don't know who they are, what their deal is, but they're tasked with deciphering this family tree of this wealthy and historic family called the Roottrees. They own a candy company, which has blossomed into a kind of like a small, a massive corporation that owns many different things, and they've got tons and tons of family. At the start of this game, this portion of the family right here passed in a airplane crash, a tragic accident. Could be a foul play. We're not sure yet, by the way. And that prompted this person to reach out to us, a private investigator, and said, I want you to solve their entire family tree. Why we're doing this, I don't know, but they're paying handsomely. And I also love a good puzzle. So that's what leads us to where we are today. I've been playing this game the last 2 streams, and I have been in love with it. It is so fun. It's the kind of puzzle that I think is just such a good time. Like just finding evidence, looking for clues. The year is 1998, so we've got like this Y2K era internet. We've got like, different pieces of like evidence that we've been slowly finding via the internet, and that we've also been given that we're kind of using to help our case. So the whole thing is just so neat. The spider on the spider search is one of the best things I've ever seen. He's a little cutie. Disney on steroids family. Yeah, absolutely. I'll come back soon so we can officially start read and beat investigations. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. We're starting our own PI firm. We're gonna rock this. We're gonna rock this town. Butler County is gonna be blown away. There's gonna be so many mysteries that are gonna be solved. Oh my god. Damn, the whole thing. That's cool. It's awesome. I think it's really sick. Yeah, there's 50. I believe it's 50. I think there's 50 people here. In every X amount, we get like new like story elements that kind of occur. So our next checkpoint is to get 33 confirmed people. And to confirm an individual, you need to get their picture right, their name right, and their profession right, and that will lock them in. And it does it in groups of 3s. So when you get 3 of them right at different points on the board, they don't have to be related at all. They can be distant cousins. They can be totally unrelated. When you get 3 correct, it'll tell you in a little cutscene, and then you go on to the next 3. And you kind of keep going like that. So for right now, I'd like to just figure out these guys, because there's a lot we can learn from this little bit right here. Now, part of the issue is, as you continue along the game, you get access to new information based on the stuff that you discover on the internet, from the public library, from wherever your sources may be. So truthfully, there's a chance we just don't have the evidence yet to figure out what these guys' deal is. So because of that, I'm going to go back to what we were doing yesterday, which is this. On our evidence board here, this is all of our evidence. It's flyers, newspaper articles, pictures, whatnot. We have them listed on the side here, and they have numbers next to them. These numbers indicate basically how much evidence is still attached to how many clues are still attached to a piece of evidence that we have not yet found. Now, for example, starting with this is a 5 pieces ad, an ad for a piece of some candy that the Roottrees company makes and has made since like the 1920s. According to this, there is like 5 different clues that I haven't really, I can't blame you guys. I haven't really figured out what their purpose is yet or what they lead to. And this has been a hard one for me because this piece of evidence really doesn't say a lot. There's not a lot going on here. There's something that I'm missing, and I've been struggling with this one. It's been a little tough. So I'm going to revisit it today now that I've got a fresh head, fresh mind. It's been a full 24 hours. Give it another shot. So, as we've read a million times, this is an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. It mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions that the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. That, I believe, is the big clue here, as that the flavors are different from back then. The problem is, I don't know what that means. I know literally what it means. I don't know what it's trying to tell us, though. That's the tricky part. We've got So Strawberry, Power Plum, Cool Chocolate, Bad Blue Raspberry, Awesome Apple. We've got down here, it says, what even is an elderberry? Anyway, pointing to the 1920s. So yeah, that's what's tricky here. Radical new flavors, but it's no longer the 1920s. So I'm thinking, I've been lashed onto this for like almost all of yesterday as well, that elderberry is one of the clues here. Something about this elderberry bothers me. It seems weird that there's a little note about that at the bottom. So let's go to the Butler County Times, the local newspaper that has been around for like almost a century, it seems like. What if I just do like elderberry root tree? Or what if I just do like 5 pieces, the candy? Yeah, and just gives us a bunch of advertisements. They flood the results. Doesn't really get us anywhere. What if I do this elderberry? No dice. What if we did like 1920s or 1920? No luck. So I gotta think of what direction to take this. Take my searches here. Like going back to Team Blast, this is where we got the piece of evidence originally, I believe. Many advertisements. One of them was already in your evidence. Yes, this is where we started. Have you looked up the candy itself yet? I believe we have. That was one because this is a piece of evidence we got pretty early on. We could always. I think it's good to revisit this stuff though. So I think it would be smart to revisit this. So let's try that. No way. Hold on. Maybe we haven't done this. This doesn't. Hold on. B, you might have just had a brilliant idea. This is, I think, what's tricky too about a game like this is you start to forget what you have and haven't done because you've been searching for so many things, using so many different pieces of evidence in different ways. We actually might never have looked up just 5 pieces on the internet. I've looked it up a lot on the periodicals, I might not have looked it up on the internet. This might be new. I need to read this. So, from market materials and various candy history sites, you learn that 5 pieces are the iconic candies sold by the Roottrees Candy Company. Although they are no longer the company's only popular product, they still sell well to this day. 5 pieces are small, colorful, shell-coated maple candies that, since the late 20s, have been pressed into the shape of a maple leaf, although they usually have one flavor that looks more like a berry. As tastes have changed over the years, so have the 5 flavors, but the shape in combination with maple has remained consistent. Why are my dogs freaking out right now? I'll be right back. Okay, so back to the article. Third paragraph. There's also a history of print advertising website that claims to have a 5 pieces advertisement scanned from a book called The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee. Unfortunately, when you click through to the website, it seems like all of their image links are broken. Okay. This is big though. I think this is a new search for us. So let's of course start with this. The history of print advertising and search that up. That doesn't get us anywhere. However, what if we do this? The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2. Copy. It's by Charles Lee. Public Library, we're going to go Charles Lee. Book title. Boom. Hey! This is... Okay, this is big. Wow. See, that's just one of those things about this game that I think is so funny just because of how complicated it can get, which is how many things you're searching up and looking for, is that you can forget to search up a simple thing. We've had that 5 pieces candy advertisement since I think almost day 1, since about like an hour into the game on Monday when we first started this. I just never thought to look it up on the internet. Just never did it. And lo and behold, that's all we had to do to get our next piece of evidence. It keeps your history. That's awesome. I know, it's so cool. It's so funny because I didn't really I didn't pay attention to that and try and learn about this feature until like midway through yesterday. Midway through yesterday, I clicked on this, just kind of clicking around up here, and I was like, oh shit. It keeps your entire history from when you first start, which is so cool. And funny enough, if we look through my history, you can realize I never went on the internet and searched up 5 pieces. So pretty much direct proof that I did not search for the right thing. So let's see what it has to say here. This is part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production and global distribution. The book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by experts in 1985. With the addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they got pretty much everything wrong. It includes some print advertisements. You find a newspaper ad for 5 pieces from the 1930s added to evidence. Okay, huge. Why is this huge? Because now we're going to see how this ad is different from the original 1930s candy, because they did say they changed the flavors. So we'll see how different these flavors actually are. Okay, you found this advertisement in The Sweet History of Candy Volume 2 by Charles Lee. It's from 1928, 6 years after the debut of 5 pieces. It states its flavors are inspired by their children, and the order is grape, elderberry, cinnamon extract, melon, and the newest flavor, miracle berry. So, modern candy for modern society. Contain 5 different maple-infused flavors. The Roottrees are a proud family business, and our flavors are inspired by our children. So you want to know what's funny about this? Want to know what's ironic about this? I think we were supposed to find this earlier in the game. This is giving us information that we actually have already figured out, and it's no longer useful for us. What this is telling us, it's basically telling us the names of the original 5 children that were the children of the founders of the company, Elias and Gwyneth. Their first generation of children are called the 5 pieces, same as the candy. And if we look at the candy, G is for grape, E is for elderberry, C is for cinnamon extract, M is for melon, and introducing M for miracle berry. G-E-C-E-M-M. G-E-C-E-M-M. Miracle. So, pretty straightforward on that piece of evidence. Not a lot of guessing to do there. We've already figured out all 5 of them. We've locked them in. So, unfortunately, I don't think this helps us that much. It just confirms what we kind of already knew, which is fine. That's all right. Now, funny enough, that was only one thing we needed to do with the 5 pieces evidence here. There is still a 4 of the little clue icon. So there are still things that I have still not figured out here. Elderberry candy. Oh, nah. Honestly, it's funny you say that. It's funny that the elderberry part is the problem for you. I'm more bothered by the like cinnamon extract. I love cinnamon, but I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like I've never heard of a candy cinnamon extract flavored. I don't know. I don't know why that just sounds weird to me. Like I know that there's just cinnamon candy, but just say it's like a apple cinnamon or like an apple. I don't know. That seemed more strange to me, just to say cinnamon extract versus elderberry. And also, I never actually even had elderberry. So is elderberry that bad? Is it that wrong? Okay. So looking at this one more time, there is still something to pull from this, which is tough. We've figured out kind of the what even is an elderberry bit down here anyways. So that's fine. And we know about the 5 flavors for the 5 kids. We know about that. So I honestly just don't know what else is still in this advertisement that we haven't already, kind of picked apart, to be honest. I'm really not sure. It's certainly hard to say. Let's go back to this real quick. Is there anything else I could pull from this? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, because of that, let's go back to evidence and go to our other, now highest clue number piece of evidence, which is rolling on down to the city. We got to play it. We have to.
We're rolling on down to the city.
Boogie time, baby. It's boogie time, baby. Get your skates on. We're going to the rink. We're going to the rink. It's time. So we skate in the streets. Can't afford gas, so we skate in the streets. What a song. Okay. So So apparently there's still a lot of information to pull from this, which is surprising. I don't know what that could be, but we'll see if we can't figure it out. I do think, actually, there is one piece of evidence that I immediately pulled from this, actually, in retrospect. And it is one of the optional photos we have. It's an optional task, but we're still going to do it, of course, which is, this is Jim Roottrees right here. If we notice, he has this beautiful yellow shirt on with these sequins on. It looks absolutely, oh, it's just stunning. I thought that this was Jim Roottrees in one of the old family photos. This is actually him, because if you notice, it's the same shirt. Same shirt. So that's actually him right there. So that is a adjustment I can now make, which is great. Additionally, I have him as this guy in this optional photo. It could be this guy. I think this is right, though, because he has the beard. So I'm going to leave that as is and leave this one as Clark, because he was also in this little band kind of slash group they were in. So that's something, I think. Now, as for the rest of this, somehow there is more information to pull from this, and I don't know how that's possible. I really don't. Yeah, there's a lot of lyrics about the song which are like entirely irrelevant. They literally just talk about nonsense. Talk about literal nonsense, honestly. But so I really, this has been a tough one for me. I don't know what they want us to pull from this, because I really don't feel like there's a lot here to go off of, like, at all. A lot of the other ones, there's clear stuff to go off of. This one, I don't feel that way. Like, the biggest thing is this name here, Peter Janowitz. But I believe we looked this up already. It probably isn't a bad idea to check. Yes, we did on the internet already. Maybe it's worth... Do we look it up ever in Modern Music Monthly? Peter Janowitz wrote a great many reviews and articles for Modern Music Monthly. You don't see anything relevant anywhere in the first few pages, anywhere in the first few page results, and there are too many results to look through through them all. If you're looking for specific album names or artist names, you may have better luck searching for those instead. Got it. That's fine. So, have I ever looked up Rolling Down the City in this? I don't think I have. That could be a start, actually. Rolling on down to the city. Let's try that. Rolling on down to the city. Okay. That brings us to this article, which I do believe we have seen before. It is an interview from 1979 titled "A Reluctant Hitmaker." Jim goes into his first band. This is Jim Roottrees. We already know this. He talks about how he met his wife, his other partners, his cousin Clark, and how Clark got with Diamond's sister, which is a whole thing. So yeah, QT band, not our finest hour. Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her younger sister. Everything exploded. No more family band. So yeah, that's great. Catchy tunes. There's Raffer tunes. I believe we looked that up. That could be looking into, though. This is something that Clark created. It's a little jingle writing company, I believe. So let's see. Did we ever look up Raffer tunes? I think we did. We did look up Raffer tunes on the internet. Where did that get us? Yeah, it didn't get us that far. It got us a piece of evidence that we've had for a while, so that's not really new information for us, unfortunately. Unfortunately. Maybe it could help make sure that we have these things over here correct, but I think we do. We know that this is his son out of his second marriage, Chris, who married Louisa, so we've already got that figured out. And then with whoever his third wife was, he had 2 daughters, apparently. Not with Jane LaRue. We don't know who that is, but it's somebody. What about the Roottrees Super Bowl ad? Oh, this might be new. Hold on. The Roottrees Maple Super Bowl commercial from 1994 has a family bickering in the department store, and the father bites into a Roottrees Maple Crisp. Time stops, and a jingle plays while he dances down the aisle. As he does, different things in the department store become Roottrees candy. For example, a bed that the father collapses onto becomes a giant chocolate bar. The jingle, Need the Rest, went on to be featured in other commercials with other scenarios. What about this then? Need the Rest. This is a famous jingle from the Roottrees Maples originating in the Super Bowl commercial, right? The jingle goes, when you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, reach for the best. There's enough there to share, but let's face it, you need the rest. So, okay, cool, catchy, love it. Not enough, though. So, first thought, good old Modern Music Monthly, you know? It is a jingle, after all. Nothing here. That's fine. Let's try the Butler County Times. Nothing. Business Watch. Nothing. I was kind of hoping that would get us somewhere. I'm not going to lie. Okay, they ate. I wouldn't know if they ate. Listen, it's an okay jingle. They did something with it. They did something. It wasn't horrible. Okay, so Need the Rest doesn't really appear to get us that far. Let's check it again, though. When you're surrounded by madness and mayhem, reach for the best. There's enough there to share, but let's face it, you need the rest. What about Roottrees Maples? Whoa. This might be new. Mixing with the recent news of the plane crash, there are a lot of results for Roottrees' extremely popular candy products. Their official website is unstable due to the traffic it has been receiving. However, you find a direct link to the history section that manages to work momentarily. The Roottrees Candy Company was founded by Elias Roottrees shortly after he married his wife Gwyneth, whose family owned a small farm called the Anderson Maple Farm. For reasons that aren't explained on the page, it has no CEO and no stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president, with input and votes from extended family. The site does mention that every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl Roottrees, who despite his death is listed as the current president. The product that put them on the map with 5 pieces, maple candies, we know this. Okay, we unfortunately know all of this already, so this is not new information. So, once again, I am left wondering, how is this relevant? I need to know. I really do gotta know. There's something here. There is something here. I have no idea what it could be. Because, I mean, ideally, we're looking for a way to get more information on their children. We don't know anything about their children. And that's partially because Jim Roottrees became a recluse. He, went into hiding. So that's been kind of the main issue. If I looked up Diamond on here, Jim and Diamond, Lawrence Diary. I haven't just looked up Diamond LaRue. Let's try that. Diamond LaRue. So we've been here before. If we look up child. No, that doesn't work, unfortunately. That doesn't work, unfortunately. What if I look up, it wouldn't be LaRue. They'd have the last name of Roottrees, unfortunately. This can't be right. So their children would be Roottrees. How many Roottrees are still on the board that are not yet used? We've got Christina, we've got Jack, we've got November, we've got Wolf. Insane name. I don't know who that is. We've got Edward, and we've got Candy. That's a little on the nose, I think, to be called Candy Roottrees when your family runs in a massive candy company, but go off, I guess. So we've got a lot of things happening here. Okay. Sorry, I gotta pause again. 1 second. Okay. I think we're good. Dogs were howling. I don't know what they think is happening. There's no one there. There's no one outside. My house might be haunted. She's barking again. Jesus Christ, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my shit. Oh, I love my dog so much, but man, any dog owner knows sometimes there's days where you're just like, please, please let me exist in silence, I beg. All right, anyways, back to what we were doing. There's several Roottrees we haven't used that could be these 2 kiddos. That is what we know. And then 2 as well for these 2. So there's 4 Rootree kids left that I think we could use here. 4, actually there could be 5. Because this is also a Rootree, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to forego our 2 guys up here and focus more on some of our other pieces of evidence that might be more helpful that we haven't explored in a while. So we've got a few different pieces of evidence here that all have clues within them that I've yet to find out. I did open this just now because I found this very interesting. The fact that there is somehow a clue that I have not yet found regarding these notable Roottrees. Because as you can see, they're all crossed off, meaning that I think I've figured out who all these people actually are. So I'm not really sure. I have no idea actually what could still be related to this piece of evidence that I haven't already discovered. That kind of blows my mind. I find that very shocking actually. So like I'm gonna skip this one because I have no clue who this could be relating to. And just to double check as well, if we go to the tree, everyone with a star next to them, which will only be a couple people, I think they've all been discovered already. We've got those 2. We've got Lauren. We've got the 3 girls. We've got Carl. We've got Jim or James. We've got Gwen. We've got Miracle Jr. Yeah, they've all been found. So I have no idea what that could be referring to as still being open-ended, I guess. So let's try something else. Let's try this. Just kidding. Let's not try this because I don't know where we're going to go with this. Let's try this. Lauren Roottree's diary or book that she released called Revisiting the Diary, which revisited the original diary she made, describing and detailing part of her life. So let's start with this. There's this entry for Sam, which is important because a big question we've been trying to answer is, what is Sam's deal? We believe this here to be Sam. My big thing is, I don't think I have her job correct. I think if I get her job right, we will she'll be locked in. I think that's the thing is, I just don't know what her job is, and I can't, for the life of me, I cannot figure it out what her role is in the Roottree company. We know that she's an illegitimate child. She's a secret baby, and that she has promised them things in the will by the founder Elias, to the chagrin of much of the family, or to the disappointment, I guess, or the annoyance. But we don't know exactly what she does is kind of the thing. So, revisiting this once again. Lauren writes, clearly I don't know about the true family history when I wrote this. I didn't even know Sam was a Rootree. All my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. Had she had the chance to grow up with us, Sam might have been the sister figure Gwen never was. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. have been learning day to day from Zach. It had been a long time since any real Rootree was as excited and interested in the actual candy as Ernie. As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. What I'm about to shade of is not figuring out myself. Sam's spitting image of Patsy with jet black hair and green eyes. Doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Oh wait. Skips a generation? The fact that it just said skips the generation pretty much tells me, confirms that Gwyneth is this girl with the thick glasses, because, you know, skips a generation meaning someone had it. Her daughter, Gwyneth. So that I like that little tidbit that I didn't pick up on the first time around, but now that I'm realizing it, confirms that we got this picture right, I believe. So that's great. That's awesome. And then we also got Ernie Jr. and there's Gwyneth. Awesome. That's great. That is great. Now. Now. Sam Control. Who could this be? One of these guys, probably. Maybe this guy. Maybe this guy. I have no idea. We'll just say it's this guy for now. Because he's also got some big old glasses. So we'll put them together. Where'd my page entry go? Pop warned us. Oh, hold on. So, Pat did, of course, but I guess that's consideration. Her children have that covered. So yeah, they talked about that. It started putting a look on Pop's face when they read the farm's operations would pass as Samantha Roottrees. Oh wait, hold on, back up. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered, meaning I think that means both of their children have glasses, actually. Meaning it's Gwyneth and Ernie Jr., meaning this is actually Ernie Jr., I think, right here. Yeah, I think that's Ernie Jr., if I'm reading into that correctly. And I believe he was the 4th president of the company, I think. He actually could have been the 3rd. He could have been the 3rd, and then Guy Hudson could have been the 4th. Or it's flipped. I'm not really sure. I don't know who was 3rd and who was 4th is the problem. I'm gonna have to try and figure that out. It's hard to put the look on Pop's face when they read the farm's operations would pass as Samantha Roottrees for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money, after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Insane line, by the way. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior or Patsy for banning her to that life. If I were her, I might not forgive them either. But even so, she seemed to blame them. She seemed to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problem with us next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. Yikes. Okay, so once again, that doesn't really hammer anything down for me that I think we didn't already kind of know, to be honest. Doesn't really help much. It does not. So here's the thing. We've got a lot of people that we've filled in their names, we've filled in their jobs, more than 3, so it should be taking us to the next stage. My thing is, I think I've just got jobs wrong for a lot of people. I think I just need to figure out some people's jobs, get their jobs right for like these 3 or these 4 really, and then I'll be able to kind of move on here. At least make some progress, I think. Everyone who is blind go together. It really is like that. Everyone who just, you all can't, you all, shit at just seeing good. Yeah, you're related for sure. You're definitely related. Okay, so. So let's assume Sam's a housewife then, right? Let's assume. For no other reason that I just don't know what else she'd be. And we know that most Roottrees women are traditionally housewives. For the most part. That's not always true, but it's mostly true. Mostly. So, if we make her a housewife versus really anything else, do the same thing with Gwyneth. We theoretically could be 2 for 2 here. I'm not sure. But then there's Ernie Jr. What is his deal? How does he fall into all this? He's not a CEO. What is he? What's his deal? What's his whole shtick? Right? What's his deal? I want to find more about Ernie Jr. That's what I think I'm missing. Is I'd love to know more about Ernie Jr.'s role as president. I'd like to get a list of all the presidents of the company. I feel like there was somewhere where I found that information, but I can't be sure that I did. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of at a standstill right now. I'm a bit stuck, to be honest. I'm a bit trapped. I'm a bit trapped. So right here, Elias decided Sam should have been a Roottrie in the first place, even though she was not part of the clan to trust. He wanted to include her in family affairs. That was what led to Lauren's initial entry entitled Sam. Okay. Okay. Oh, just what is Sam's deal? Is she just a housewife? That's what I need to know that. That's my issue right now. And I don't know really at all. Let's go Butler County Times. I think the Butler County Times could have some more information for us on a lot of these people. And I feel like it's worth a shot. Because this has been a very helpful source of information, I think. There's also this guy, EC. I don't know who that is. No idea who EC is. And his name's been popping up a lot, to be honest. A fair amount, truth be told. I've looked up Sam Roottrie on the internet. I don't think we have. I don't think it's gonna work, but it's worth a try. No dice. Unfortunate. That's okay. It's okay. My phone is blowing up. I'm gonna blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. Okay. I'm feeling a bit stuck here. I won't lie. This is the probably the most stuck we've been, or I've been up to now. We've been doing pretty good. Like the last 2 streams, but honestly, really killing it. I'm feeling a bit trapped though. I'm feeling a bit trapped. Gotta try and look at things with a new perspective. Is kind of the thing here. New perspective. I sound like Ego from Ratatouille. I'd like you to send me your freshest perspective. Perspective? We're all out of perspective. Oh, you're all out of perspective? Man just doesn't want to order a fucking dish. He's just being difficult. Okay. What about this? Dynasty. This could talk to us about maybe who the third president was going to be. Grande was furious none of his sons would take over as president. We know that. Architects, preachers, and lawyers. We know that already. We've got architects, preachers, and lawyers. Came to the next gens. And ended up going to Zach. We know that. Right. Yes. Okay. This is all old news. All of it old news. Tricky. Okay. What about? I think what I would like more than anything is just some confirmation on what Ernie Jr.'s job is. That feels like a big block for me right now, because I feel like that could maybe lock him in, and maybe possibly lock in like a couple of these guys that we already have filled in and are kind of just waiting to be confirmed. So I need some confirmation, I think, on Ernie's job and then Guy Hudson's job. Guy Hudson we know was in a car crash. We know that about him. Where did we initially read that, though, is the question. That's what I'd like to go back to. This right here. Guy Hudson, the death of Guy Hudson. This is what we need. So Guy Hudson had been president of the Roottrie Company for only 4 years. So we know that he was president, at least at one point. So he was either the 3rd or 4th president. We know that for fact. We know that for absolute fact. Now, I just need to know about if Ernie Jr. was president. I think he was, but I just don't know for sure. Let's go Ernest Roottrie. Ernest Jr. Roottrie. No. We need to go Ernie Roottrie. Ernie Jr. Nope. Junior Roottrie. Nope. Junior Roottrie. Okay, now. What about What about Business Watch? I feel like Business Watch has something in there about the presidents and whatnot. Oh. Oh. This might be new. Hold on now. A small article from 1977. Guy Hudson, along with his twin sister, are no strangers to the public when it comes to the Roottrees snacks. They both appeared in the company's advertisements as children in the Boys and Girls Agree era. Now, Guy has taken over the Roottrees company at the end of the year. Who would have known that one of those two adorable redheads, Guy credited his mother and father Angie and Christopher with providing his fiery due, arguing over everything but chocolate, would grow up to take over the whole company. So, real quick. Hold on. Guy's uncle and current president, Zachariah, has decided to take an earlier retirement to focus on traveling the world with his wife. Okay, great. That now confirms that Guy is, in fact, the third president. So we know that. Good. We also know that he has fiery red hair, which makes me really confident that this is, in fact, his photo. Great. That, to me, all but confirms that this is accurate right here. This is a correct piece of info for this guy. Awesome. We've got one. We can confirm one is good. Great. Now, his wife. Is his wife's name Patricia? For sure. I don't know about his wife. It looks like he's a twin sister. That's Bonnie. We have already got her confirmed. So Bonnie and Guy. Guy is accurate. That's great. I think his wife is accurate. I think I pulled that from somewhere. So that feels fine. So then, if we know that, we need to go back to Ernie Jr. then. But let's keep reading this just in case there's something else somehow in here. So Zach decided to take an early retirement. Zach was quoted as saying, "Now that our daughters have started families of their own, Clara and I plan to reflect on a life well lived. Guy is new to the business world, but he's family. We at Roottrees have faith in his innovative ideas, and he's eager to share them with the world. We like to think that boys and girls agree that he's ready to succeed." Great. Okay. But one thing we didn't know was Zach's wife's name. We now know it's Clara. Clara Lansing. There you go. So now we know her name. Awesome. So we got something from that. That's nice. We learned something. We did, in fact, learn something. Great. One thing I think want to look up is this. Boys and girls agree. I don't know what this is. Ooh. This is something new. Awesome. You found a site about successful ad campaigns. One of the ads listed is from the late 50s, Boys and Girls Agree. It is a series of television and magazine ads for Roottrees chocolate bars. The ad campaign is described as having the premise that boys and girls are often diametrically opposed, except when it comes to one thing. Both of them agree that Roottrees is their favorite. The first advertisement in the series was the most memorable due to the bright red hair of the boy and girl involved. One of the magazine advertisements has been added to your evidence. I am disappointed. I think this is just going to be... I'm thinking this is just going to be a photo, an optional alternate photo for Bonnie and Hudson. And yeah, I think it is. Disappointing, but evidence, we'll take it. Both of them agree that Roottrees is their favorite. Roottrees, it's got to be Roottrees. It's just candy. Yeah, it's just alternate pictures of them. That's all it is. It is just alternate photos of them. That's fine. We'll take it. That is stuff that we do need to help fill out these profiles, but it's not what I really wanted. It's not what I was hoping for. What if... Go back to periodicals, back to Business Watch. What if we looked up Zachariah? Zachariah Morden. What if we did that? Because I don't know if we've ever looked up... Oh, I pulled something on my computer. I don't know if we've ever looked up him before. And this might maybe help me figure out who his kid is, his other kid. In 1959, there's a small boy about Zach Morden, son of James and Gwendolyn Morden, and grandson of Elias Roottrees, inheriting the candy company. He's quoted as saying, "Elias instructed me with carrying on his legacy, and that's what I plan to do. Along with 5 pieces, our chocolate maple products are selling incredibly well. We will not be making any changes." Okay, great. And by great, I mean wholly unhelpful. So we know his other kid is Gwendolyn Morden. I kind of just don't know who she is. Actually, you know what? We might be able to just do process of elimination. I think it has to be her. And odds are she's probably a housewife, because they all are. So let's just put that down for now. I think that's going to be her. Because all the photos of people from her generation of the Roottrees come from this photo. I think she's one of the few women we haven't put to anyone yet. We've got Bonnie. We know this is the girl with the thick glasses, Sam's daughter. We know this is Caroline. That just leaves her. So that pretty much, I think, has to be Gwendolyn. And she is in this photo because she's one of the names here. That's great. I think we've actually figured out her photo, which is awesome. That is helpful. That's good. That's big. I'm gonna assume she's a housewife. She honestly could be anything. I don't know for certain, but housewife has been treating us well so far, because you can see it is the common job for the women in the family very often. Housewife, 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 author, pop off Lauren, good for you. Actor, housewife, mechanic. We've got some women that are breaking barriers, doing more, which fuck yeah. So we'll leave that for now. So where does that leave us? I mean, that leaves us with most of this, like almost this whole side filled out, nearly. For some reason, we're just not getting something right, though. This is not fully right, and I'm guessing one of these two is not fully right, because we've got so many that are filled in, but the game is not taking them, meaning we are messing up, I think, the jobs for a lot of these people. That's my guess. Or this guy just might not have thick glasses, but I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure he does. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go this. Let's go this, just because why not? Just for now. This is tough. I just don't know where to go from here. I'm a bit stuck. We do have a hint option. I have not used it in the game so far, and I intend to keep it that way. Unless I get nowhere over the course of the next hour, then maybe I'll use it. But I want to keep trying for now. So let's go to... what is something we haven't explored in a while? Names. Names. From Revisiting the Diary by Lauren. This is where she talks about all the Elis in the family. We have read this already, but let's check it out again. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary is how similar the names are. There are 4 Elis. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. So they become Uncle Junior, Miracles, Eli, or Eli C. We already know all of these, though, is the thing. We've got all of these confirmed. Yeah, I feel like we've pulled everything there is to pull from this, is kind of the thing. So here's my hunch. My hunch right now is that there's just one thing I've missed and like forgotten to probably like search up on the internet. And because of that, I'm getting screwed over right now. That's my guess, to be honest. That's kind of my theory. What if we looked up, we already have the photos for Chris Rafferty's art project. That doesn't really seem like we'd need any more information from that. Oh, tricky. What to do. I would love to be able to say I beat this game without using any hints, so I'd love to not use any. So I apologize in advance for those of you who are like, man, he's just sitting around doing nothing. It is a puzzle game, and it's getting tricky, which that's kind of how it goes. So I'm just gonna take my time. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna do this right, or we're not gonna do it at all. Very important. We're gonna do this right. We're not cheating. We're not taking the easy way out unless we absolutely have to. And we just cannot get anywhere. We've not been at it for that long, so I want to continue just looking around at stuff and just reading into things as best I can. Talking about Clark. So one thing I'd love to know more about that I think one thing we're lacking on a lot is figuring out the orders of these brothers here. These are all the sons of Clancy Edward. We know Lauren is his first child. And we know Clancy Jr. is the name of his firstborn son. I don't know if this is the right picture. I feel like it's probably not. I feel like it's probably not, although I have nothing to base that on, unfortunately. So, we do know that this guy's Elias C. We know that. We know that this name in this photo is correct, thankfully. The problem is we don't know what any of these guys do for work. We don't know their spouses' names. Like, there is really little to no information on these guys right here. And that's been a big problem for me, is I just do not know how to figure this out. I don't know what it's going to take to learn more about these guys. That's been a huge, huge issue. Because we see them in this photo here. That's the thing. That is the thing. What if we looked up the next generation? Just look that up. Straight up. Let's try it. It brings up a Star Trek page? Are you kidding me? The Next Generation television series in the Star Trek franchise. It finished airing 2 years ago in 1986. Star Trek is primarily known for inspiring the song Star Trekkin' by the firm, which hit #1 on the UK singles chart. Currently 2 spin-offs, Voyager and Deep Space Nine, are ongoing. Season 5, episode 9 of Voyager is set to air in 3 days. None of this seems to have to do with your search for the Roottrees family, however. I love that, dude. That's awesome. Hold on. Well, now we have to look this up. Now we've got Star Trekkin'. We've got to look this up. Hold on. We've got to do due diligence, guys. It's all about doing due diligence. Let's go to Modern Music Monthly. Oh, come on. I was hoping it would bring up the song. I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear the jingle, man. That'd have been so fun. Okay. Maybe the campaign mailer? What if we looked at Butler County City Council? I'm just trying to look up things that I haven't looked up before that might make sense. Yeah, okay. Unfortunate. Oh man, this is getting hard. This is getting tricky. I'm not gonna lie, it's getting difficult. It's getting a little bit frustrating, but we will persevere. We will persevere. I feel like so many of our evidences now just have like really 1 or 2 or 3 clues connected to them, and that could just be anything. I feel like I've poured over these really heavily. I've really spent a lot of time looking into these to the point where I'm staring at them and I just don't know what else I'm seeing. So I won't lie, I'm getting very close to using a hint. I'm getting very close. And I know if I do it, once it tells me what the hint is, I'm going to hate myself. I'm going to hate myself. I know it. I'm going to hate myself. I'm going to be super upset if I do it. But I'm trying not to, but I'm getting afraid that I'm going to have to pretty soon. Because I'm just not making any progress now. I've hit a wall. I've completely hit a wall. And I'm trying not to just go dead silent, just staring at, just reading paragraphs to myself. Because that's going to be boring for you guys to watch, but I'm very close to that point. I feel like I just need to like start reading some of this stuff again and again until it clicks. What if we look this up? I can't imagine that brings up anything irrelevant. No. Like, no way this is relevant at all. What if we looked up economic inflation? No. I'm thinking maybe like the inflation could be getting mentioned here because it like negatively affected the Roottrees back in the 70s or the 60s. So it could have affected how things played out. So like this has got so many clues attached to it that I'm somehow not seeing. But I have to imagine it's just because it's somehow that evidence leads us back to their children who up to this point we've learned nothing about. Nothing. Not a lick. Not a lick of information. That is what's tough right now. Album names, artist names. Yeah, we've been doing that. Oh, it even tells us the lyrics of this song contain no clues. I didn't even notice that before. Good thing I wasn't reading into the good thing I wasn't reading into the lyrics. That would have been a pain if I was doing that. If I was sitting here hyper analyzing the lyrics like, what could he mean by on wheels we glide with you by my side? What could that mean though? What could that mean? I am feeling a bit stuck. Kind of just wanted to look around the room for a minute. I was like, what was anything just like kind of what is this? Oh, this is cool. I didn't know I could do this. There's some books over here. Take your time, Tommy. This game is hard as hell. Well, thank you. For saying take my time. The game, well, so yeah, it's getting hard. I knew this was gonna happen. It's just getting harder as we go on because we've found so much evidence already that now the things we're looking for are getting really small and nitty gritty stuff. It's getting to be very precise stuff. So it's definitely getting tricky. What have we got here? Alphabet Davis in The Erased Names of the Genesis. Alphabet Davis in Ends of Beginnings, A Young Alphabet Adventure. Family Doku. So it's all books about this guy named Alphabet Davis. Cool. Here we got a... Oh, what's this? Oh, it's like a boombox. That's kind of cool. Oh my god, this controls the volume in the game. Oh, that's actually so sick. That's so cool. I actually love that. That's kind of dope. That's kind of sick. Oh, that's cool. I'd never been over here at all, like messing around on this desk. It says "Our Dead." We got some retro music. I love it. Little ducky. Hello, ducky. And then we're back to the computer. Back to the computer. I disconnected. We have to reconnect. This is dial-up after all. We're back. Oh, that's fun. I hope that didn't. Okay, yes. I was about to say, I hope they didn't get rid of our history because that would kind of suck. That would suck. That's so cool. I know that was the retro stuff and that whole little counter over there. That was actually super dope. I have not like been over here at all to like explore any of this, so that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. But yeah, that's not important right now. What's important is we need to make some headway. I've kind of come to a grinding halt here. I'm very close to using a hint. I do feel like I'm really kind of stuck. And I just don't know. I've clearly, very obviously overlooked something. It's just I think it's very difficult to go back and figure out what you skipped. When I've looked up a ton of stuff and been looking at, I've read and looked at all these pieces of evidence. So going back now to figure out which one is got what I need in it is very difficult. Very tricky, very difficult. What about this? We have to go back to Sam's thing. Who is EC? That's something I need to know. Who is EC? C. Who could EC be? Elias C. Roottrees, but that's not who that is, because that Elias C. Roottrees is. Actually, I thought we had him down as somebody, but maybe not. Do we not have an Elias C. Roottrees? I thought we did. Yeah, we do. Okay, it's this guy. Right. I was about to say, we have an Elias C. Roottrees. I'm so confident of that. I'm very confident of that. Okay. What if I just look up the word confirmed bachelor? I doubt this produces anything. It does. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. In the past, a confirmed bachelor was a man who never intended to marry a woman. Quite often, it was used as a derogatory term to imply that a man was gay. In the early 1900s, there was a good chance that if someone was discovered to be gay, they may even be ousted or shunned from their family. Oh. Oh, that's kind of big. Okay, whoa, that's kind of important. Okay. How does that... That's a new piece of information, but how does that change things? So EC... This person, EC... I believe lived with Sam on the farm where she grew up. If I remember correctly. Also, I'm going to change Samantha's job back to farmer because I just noticed when rereading that, it says that Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother. Green thumb, that's gotta be either a farmer or a... I don't know what else that could be. Oh! Let's go! There it is! Oh, that's so funny. That's hilarious. I had her job as a farmer for so long yesterday, and then I changed it to something else. I don't remember what I changed it to just now. It's a housewife or a CEO, or I had it as something different. And if I had just left it, she would have been locked in a minute ago. So that's funny. And also, boom, look at that. I got Gwendolyn right. Had Gwendolyn's photo, and I guessed correctly, she was a housewife. Because that's an easy guess to make. But now we can actually do Gwyneth down here is also a farmer. Since we know that she has the green thumb like her mom. So I'm going to assume that means they're both farmers, which is awesome. So that means Gwyneth here, I think, is done. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what Ernie Jr.'s, if he is in fact the true fourth president. And if he is, then figuring out one more person to kind of bring this all together. We have Stephanie here. Stephanie, I feel like, should be correct, but maybe she's college? No. Tricky. Well, anyways, we got a lot of spouses done in that run too as well. Like now we've got, look at the yellow over here. We've now locked in this whole portion of the board. We've got this all correct, even the optional photos. That was actually pretty big. We got a lot of optional stuff included on that, which is pretty awesome. I noticed we did not get these two correct, so these are actually flipped. If this guy's beard is here, that means it's this one, and he's got the beard actually. Those are flipped, is what that means. And then these are all good. I still need their spouses. We'll get that eventually, I assume. Good job. Thank you. How close are you to solving the case? Did you get the room and the murder weapon? If only this was as easy as Clue. If this was as easy as Clue, I'd have been done streams ago. But no, we are getting close. We're definitely getting close. If we can just get 3 more people, we will trigger the next like major relevant game cutscene, which I think will be a big one. Because I think our mystery person who assigned us this case, who claims to be a Roottrees, I think she will be revealing herself which would be pretty massive. So we need to lock in 3 more people, which honestly could be just these 3 right here. If we can just lock in these folks, then we will move on to the next like part of the plot, which is pretty much all I need to get. We just need to get 3 things correct, and we'll be in business. I think these guys are correct, so I'm just assuming they're students, or maybe they're listed as babies. They're not babies, I know that, but like, what else would I say they are if they're not students? They're not babies, that's not right. We'll split them back as K through 12. I think these are right. I don't know for sure. But who? That's another thing we haven't figured out. Who is Clark's 3rd wife? Because he does, in fact, have a 3rd wife. Crazy, I know. Crazy, I know, but he does have a 3rd wife. Let's see if we can't figure that out. Let's go back to Clark's page here. Reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottrees has ever remarried. Charles, Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill before she had her 2nd. Not even I can blame her for that. I've seen what he gets up to in Starlet. But neither of us ever took a 2nd husband. Clancy or Edward? Who was Edward? I'm not sure. Is this Edward right here? Edward Roottree? That's probably... Actually, that's probably the last of her brothers. Edward. I'm gonna guess. Yeah, she's talking about... She's saying Eli C. stepped up for Clark. And that's more than Clancy Jr. or Edward ever did. So I think that's correct. So I think, once again, these names are right. I just don't know if the pictures are right. And I don't know their profession. So I need to figure that out as well. Eli practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out of the band without her. He'd be a 3rd wheel. So she doesn't know how a marriage can survive on a shaky foundation, which she was right, because he remarried a 3rd time. But to who, we don't know. Who did Clark remarry for marriage number 3? I don't quite know. What if I do Clark Rafferty? A few fans of the band Jim and Diamond seem to mention that he used to make music with Clark Rafferty. He used to make music with Clark Rafferty? He is Clark Rafferty. Whatever. They mentioned an album called These Times. Let's look up These Times. I don't know if I ever looked at this. After a blazing 35-minute download, the track is also available. So we've got access to the track. Okay. What if I go to These Times in Modern Music Monthly? Oh, hold on. I said in the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has short, pithy blurbs about new records. An album called These Times is listed under the Skip It column with the following. These Times, a new single from C&J and J&D, Clark Rafferty, Jim Roottrees, and 2 of the LaRue sisters, amateurish folk-style songwriting is catchy at times, but ultimately doesn't do anything new. Yikes. That is tough. That is tough. What about Skip It or Flip It? Is that relevant anywhere? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, well, that didn't help too much, unfortunately. What was Clark's company that he had created? Raffertunes? What was it called again? It was his little jingle company. It's called, what was it called? What did he call it? What did he call his little company with the jingles? It was called, God, I forget. Damn it. I don't know. I don't know what he called it. It was, Raffertunes, I think? Was it Raffertunes? I think it was Raffertunes. It was Raffertunes, okay. I want to look up Raffertunes in here. Nothing. Damn. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Oh, see, we got Scandal down to a 0. So we figured something out from Scandal. Name Sam Clark. There's still a lot around Clark that we just haven't figured out. Meaning, I'm guessing there is some way we figure out who Clark's third wife is. You know what the funny thing is? I think we have a picture of Clark's third wife. It's this woman right here. I just don't know who she is. Just don't know who she is. No idea who she is, quite frankly. Not a clue. What could her name be? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's think out loud here for a second. I know, or at least I have here. We know that Clark's youngest daughter from these photos is named Katrina. According to the list, Katrina's last name is Rafferty-LaRue. Okay, that's fine. We know that Clark was married to Jane LaRue. However, according to the family tree, he split up with Jane and remarried someone else and had different children with them. Meaning, did he marry a third LaRue sister? I don't know why this is just now occurring to me. Oh my goodness. Kim LaRue. Who is this? Here you go. I might have already read about this too. Oh my god, yeah, I read about this yesterday and I forgot about it. Youngest Kim. The youngest LaRue. Because the two LaRues, Jane and Diamond, used to be called the Lucky LaRues. We know about them already. Oh, right here. Diamond and Jane have been touring with some famous faces and are looking to release an album sometime next year. Youngest Kim is about to step into a prominent role on Broadway, taking over for one of the children and Oliver. The Lucky LaRues, indeed. Oh, wow. So I just totally missed that. So we do know, actually, that Kim LaRue is Clark's third wife. Okay, that's pretty big. That was a big find. Also, Clark, you piece of shit. What the hell is wrong with you? You divorce your second wife to go date her younger, or marry her younger sister? That's sick, dude. What the hell? Are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? That is awful. Dude, that is demented. You sicko. Come on, man. That's insane. God, I hate you for that. I absolutely hate you for that. That's crazy. That makes me so mad. That makes me so mad. It's criminal. Thomas is losing it. I'm certainly not happy. I'm quite frustrated here with with Clark, dude. Clark's a freaking scumbag, man. He's an absolute scumbag. I'm not a fan of Clark, not at all. What a piece of work this guy is. Also, I have reason to believe this here might be Clark. Just gonna throw it in there for now to see what happens. Okay. So then, here's my thing. We've got 5 people that have all been locked in here. It's not taking them, meaning we're screwing up the photos, we're screwing up the names, we're screwing up the occupations. My money is on the occupations as being the thing that I am not getting right here? What I'm thinking actually really could be wrong is that Gwyneth is actually older than Ernie Jr. That could be the thing that I'm screwing up here. It's very possible. So I actually want to go back to Sam. See, here Ernie Jr. is mentioned first, just making me think he's older. But we don't actually know for certain if he is or not. I really don't know. It's a bit cheap because I'm not confirming anything. But what if I switch them? What if I switch them? Because up to now, I've been very confused why these two aren't taken. Because I think I have them correct. I think. But maybe I don't. I might not have them right at all. And that could be the big problem here. I do have them wrong. Oh my goodness. I switched Stephanie over. It goes. There it is. We got all the kiddos. And look at tons of optional photos. Booyah! Let's go. That's 33. Our mystery lady is back.
On the phone, I said I owed you an explanation, but I can't reveal everything. Not yet.
I just worked so hard for this. What are you talking about? You promised me you'd explain everything. You owe me this.
I'm sure this all seems like deception for deception.
It does, yeah.
So I'll try to explain why.
I'd love that. Please go ahead. I'm all ears.
It's true. I'm working with lawyers.
Okay.
But not the candy company lawyers. My publisher's lawyers.
That seems extremely wrong. I'm
on
concerned.
the verge of releasing a book, and it's not kind to the Roottrees.
Oh.
Especially Elias and the 5 Pieces. The truth often is.
Hold on. I can maybe get behind this. The Roottrees, they're rich, they're powerful. They seem, I wouldn't be surprised if they got some dirt. I wouldn't hate taking them down a notch, you know, burn the rich and all that. And all that jazz.
But with the plane crash, the publisher is rightfully worried it'll look like I'm making things up to exploit a tragedy.
Ooh, yeah, there is that. That would be in bad taste.
So they're doing their due diligence. That's why you're here. To be sure there's enough evidence for an expert to unearth the whole story.
Okay, that's fair. I'm okay with that. Can you tell me who you are, though? Because she claims she's also a Roottree.
If I tell you the whole story now, we can't prove that. I hope you understand. That said, I can say that the work you're doing is very personal to me.
Okay.
To my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time, after you fill it in.
To my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time after you fill it in.
Also, there are fewer Roottrees left. In a sense, that makes it easier. Use process of elimination.
Will do.
It's also harder to verify when you're right. You'll need 4 blood relatives before they lock from here on out.
Ah, damn, that sucks.
I don't have any more evidence for you, but trust your intuition. If something has a high number, it's not a mistake.
Okay, well now she's just breaking the fourth wall of the game.
You're getting closer and closer to the truth. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, well, we will see you soon as well. Okay, we're getting close. We're getting very, very, very close. Okay, well, when she said there's something on here that sticks out relevant to her story, I wonder what it is. Top secret. Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, big surprise what that could be. Anyways, one thing I want to do first thing, just so I get this right. Just so we get everything right. Let's fix the tree here that I kind of screwed up on. That is the funny thing about this game, is there kind of is a guessing element to it, I do feel like. Like, I didn't have any basis to make the switch that I just did. But it worked out, obviously, in our favor. So now, I think this is now right. I think he isn't back the 4th president. I think she's a farmer. I think she's with Sam Control. Because you know Stephanie control, so that has to be the father. I don't know his wife yet. We're gonna figure that out soon, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. And then he has a child. We don't know who that is. We'll figure that out at some point. Okay. We also need these children's names. I don't know how we're gonna figure that out, but hopefully we'll figure it out soon. Actually, wait. Maybe I can figure this out right now, actually. I'm surprised I haven't already. They're all children, so I know their jobs. I'm just not realizing, how did I not figure this out previously? Because their father's name is Wilson. Their last name is Wilson. Let me just look up Wilson. Unless there's a ton of Wilsons. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm so dumb, dude. How did I have these guys not filled in for so long? I feel so silly. I feel like I just totally looked over these guys. I had just forgotten all about them. When in reality, I had everything I needed to completely fill them in, like right now. That's so funny. Okay, well, that's great. Now we're at 37. That's huge. Huge. Okay. So now we've got these guys correct, these two kids. We've also got him, which is awesome. So that's going to be, now we know one is correct. We just need 3 more, which is great. And actually, breaking news. This is huge. When you include him, because Zach here will be, confirmed soon. We've now completed an entire section of the board spanning from one of the original 5 pieces, which is great. That's awesome. And we're actually very close to doing that as well for the second 5 piece, Elias Jr. We just need to figure out Ernest Jr.'s wife's name and his kid's name and who his kid is at all. So we're actually, guys, we're getting so close. We're almost there. We're almost done. We just got, really, there's not a lot of evidence, I think, left that we haven't picked apart. There's just a few things here and there that we got to figure out what they mean. All right. This is just a summary of the additional information we got from the plot. Nothing relevant, though. So, we've only got a few pieces of evidence that really actually have substance right now. We got the campaign mailer, the notable Roottrees, the dynasty, the first bit about Clark, the second bit about Clark, names, the 5 pieces ad, which I still don't know what the hell that's about, and then rolling on down to the city. I, to this day, cannot figure out what rolling on into the city has to do with anything. That's been really the biggest trouble for me right now. I'm also confused on why Clark's stuff is still relevant. Because we've figured out Lauren's entire family tree from Clark all the way down through his many failed marriages. My guess is it has to somehow tie back to Lauren's brothers, because she mentions that they helped out a lot with raising Clark and helping him out as a boy. So that makes me think that somehow we can figure out these guys' deals through Clark's stuff. That just seems, I'm not sure totally how, but we're gonna give it a shot. Also, apparently we have an optional photo for Reyna. I don't know that I have it though. Yeah, I'm not sure who that would be for. Speaking of, hold on. This is a good time to go back to that photo, this one. We've got no number attached to it, but I never really, I feel like, figured out who these people in this photo are. Because I haven't actually used their picture anywhere, I don't think. Have I? I don't think so. Yeah, I've still got the mom and the daughter. So I haven't used their photos anywhere. So what's their deal? Let's go back to this. Let me read this again. The letter was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner of his office. The letter says, I think it was Carl's office, I believe. To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on Earth, knew how busy your job can be. Ernie Jr. Oh. This is 100. Okay. Yeah, I know who this is now. That immediately just clicked for me. Immediately clicked. So Ernie died, and this is his wife and daughter. Celebrating his funeral. Celebrating his life. And close to Shiva candle, identical to ours. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what religion that is, but not important. I highlighted this too, and I just didn't come back to this. I was talking about earlier about just glossing over stuff because there's been so much information spread out over days for me that there's just stuff that I'm forgetting about. I'm also truthfully not using this notebook probably as well as I could be, but I've got so many highlighted pieces of information in here that I'd have to go through all of them. I'm also now realizing that I could have organized these by page, which would have been super smart, and I can name the pages. So yeah, I definitely went about this in a way that is not smart or strategic. Did I know that you could add a page? No, I didn't, because I wasn't paying attention to the thing that says add page. Hmm. Okay, cool. Anyways, Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had a amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. So that confirms that Ernie was the fourth president because Carl's the fifth, and so if Carl's taking over for him, he's taking over as president. That confirms that. Great. Actually, I think we already locked that in. We already knew that. Never mind. Let's just get the names. We just need the names. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could have never done that without the two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. Okay, the wife's name is Debbie. The daughter's name is Nicole. This is her photo. This is the optional photo for Debbie. We can assume her name is Deborah. Her daughter's name is Nicole. Nicole Madsen. And she is a K through 12 student. Awesome. So that's going to be 2. 1, 2. We need 2 more. 2 more. I'm going to go on a limb here. Going back to Ronald Roottrees here. Assuming I have the photo correct. And I think I do because he just looks older than Robert does. We know he has the film school jacket. I'm going to guess he's either a director or an actor. And going to film school, I'm going to guess he's a director. So this might bink. We might have binked this. This might be accurate. Now, if we could just figure out these assholes, man. I don't know what these guys' deal is, any of these guys, but we got to figure something out here. So, with anything, let's start with the good old internet. None of these guys are notable Roottrees, so all 3 of them might not come up, but it's worth a shot, I think. So, to start, Clancy Jr. Roottrees. Let's start there, work our way down the list. Clancy Jr. Roottrees. Nothing. Next, Elias C. Roottrees. Nothing. Next, Edward Roottrees. Edward Roottrees. Nothing. Okay. Periodicals. Business Watch is 2 reasons of a publication. Let's go Butler County Times. Edward Roottrees. No. Clancy Jr. Roottrees. No. And Elias C. Roottrees to round it off. No. Damn. Guys, my car overheated and I'm stuck on the side of the road. Anyway, how far along are we? No. Oh my God. Oh my God. V, are you good? I'm so sorry. I love the casual. I'm on the side of the road. My car broke down. How's the stream going, though? That's dedication right there. That's dedication to the stream. To solving the case. To cracking the case and figuring out this goddamn family tree. I love it. Thomas End streaming, come save me. All right, listen. Once we get a few more members of the family tree figured out, maybe we'll come save you. Maybe. Depends on how I'm feeling. I might be tired. I might be eepy. I don't know if I can come save you. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. What about Clancy Edward Roottrees? What do we look him up? Nothing. Go to the internet. Hey! Here's something. Okay, this is about the Clanted Trust, and we've already looked this up before. I know we have. So this might not be new information, but there could be something in here that I overlooked the first time, so it's worth looking at this because we haven't looked at this in a while, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I love it. Good shit, noobs. Giving some car help. I bought some coolant because I had no coolant because someone else was using my car. Long story. So I'm hoping we're good. Yeah, coolant probably would be your biggest thing. I'm no car guy, but you know, if your car's overheating, the thing with the word cool in the name seems like it'd be a good place to start, no? Sorry, I'm being an asshole. I hope you figure that out. I really do. Okay. Well, you figure out your car problems. Let's read this. Clancy Trust is a highly unusual corporate arrangement named after Clancy Edward Roottrees, who was Elias's son and the Roottrees Candy Company's head lawyer at the time. Due to its unique nature, it's often brought up in online discussions about financial matters and inheritance as an oddity. Company demands that a fixed percentage of profits are split every quarter amongst bank accounts representing each direct relative of Elias and Gwyneth. An account is created for each blood relatives. Something my mouse. Each blood relative at birth and first successful when they reach 18. It is a significant amount of money never exposed to the public. The Clancy Trust is known for being essentially impossible to get around due to many checks and balances written into it. Trying to focus on maybe other family members. Most of these are pretty vague. The only information you discover is from a university law school which apparently had a guest lecture about the Roottrees versus RR in 1994. While looking into the Clancy Trust, you also find mentions to the 5-piece guarantee, which went into effect at the same time. Okay, well, let's start with this. The Roottrees versus RR. What is this? What have we figured out? What are we doing now? Have we hit a dead end? No, I did hit a dead end for a brief period earlier in the stream, and then finally I made an adjustment with two of our profiles for people, and basically got back on track. So we're actually currently at 37 confirmed profiles out of 49. So we're doing really, really well. Our mystery lady came back when we hit 33 people. Didn't tell us who she was again, but she did confirm she's part of the family. She's got her spot on the tree is, she said, pretty obvious where it is, and it's pretty important. So, you know, where do you think that is? And now we need to find 4 people at a time to lock them in. And once we hit 49, she's going to come back, I think, for a final time and reveal, I assume, finally, who she is, what's her deal, what's going on. She did also confirm that she's not doing this for the Roottrees, even though she is one. She's actually working for, what did she say? She's working for her publishers. She's working for her publishers' lawyers, because she's trying to help write basically like a dirt piece on the Roottrees that reveals, like, apparently the dirty history about the original 5 pieces, the original 5 Roottree children. Apparently there's been some dirty dealings in this family. This family's filthy. The filth runs deep back generations. And that's apparently what she's trying to get into, which, you know what, I can get behind that. I said, you know, kind of the eat the rich thing and all that jazz. So I can get with that. I can get with that. So that's the story as of now. So going back to this. You find very few details about this particular incident with regard to the Clancy Trust. A student that attended the lecture about it wrote the following on Legal Oddities website. From what you can tell, RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. It was said that RR attempted 2 arguments. First, the person in question was born out of wedlock, and second, they committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. Still, due to the ironclad wording of the Clancy Trust, it was impossible to remove any direct descendant of Elias Roottrees without completely dissolving the trust. There is no additional information online. Ooh. Okay, RR is clearly somebody Roottrees, and we know there's only a few people who have alliterated names like that. And I'm looking at you two. Ronald and Robert Roottrees. Keep in mind, this took place, and I think it had said previously, 1994. So these guys are very much in play for who could be involved in this. Why they'd want to all of a sudden, though, kick out who I'm assuming is probably Samantha, is a little beyond me. Although maybe it's not Samantha. Hold on. The person in question was born out of wedlock. No, actually, it definitely could be Samantha. Because she was born out of wedlock. We know that. She is a true Rootree, but she was born out of wedlock. We don't know this. Committed a significant crime against a fellow family member. That is new information. I don't know what that's about. That is breaking news, really. But that's pretty much all we're getting from this. Unfortunately, we're still missing something. What if we look up this Legal Oddities website? Nope, nothing. RR. Well, we'll come back to that. Let's go to the other thing I was going to look up, which is the 5-piece guarantee. The 5-piece guarantee, in combination with the Clancy Trust, was Elijah Rootree's attempt to ensure that the Rootree Candy Company would remain a family business for eternity. In isolation, it is somewhat baffling. The yearly salary of Rootree's president is always locked to the price of a single pack of... What? The yearly salary of Roottree's president is always locked to the price of a single pack of 5 pieces. When the 5-piece guarantee went into effect, this was 25 cents a year. Now it's closer to $4. Where the fuck is this guy getting his money from? How is the president making any money? Combined with the Clancy Trust, however, it makes a bit more sense. Elias wanted to ensure that only his direct relatives could afford to be president, and he knew that because their passive income was tied to the profits of the company. Oh, right, the Clancy Trust said that the profits get split up among family members. That makes sense. So they would have a vested interest in keeping the company as profitable and successful as possible. Right. Whether or not this is a smart or successful decision is widely debated both online and in person by economic enthusiasts of all levels of expertise. God, these Roottrees, man, you gotta give them credit. They were fucking smart. Wild systems to put in place, but they're pretty genius. They're pretty clever, man. Okay. That's interesting. I don't really see how it helps us, though. Don't really see how that comes into play. Okay, so then back to Clancy Edward Rootree. Back here. Who was RR? It's one of those two brothers. I'm almost sure. But the problem is it's hard to know which. It's hard to know. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I would love to also, by the way, fill in these spouse names, but I haven't figured out who these people are. What about Miracle the Third? Did we ever look him up? He's a more recent person, so it should be easier to find. Yeah, this is not new. Yeah, I don't know how we figure out who these people's spouses are. We've got a lot of spouses actually in here. And we actually just don't know who they are. Man, I'll tell you more than anything, I just want to know what these guys' deal is. I want to figure out how to narrow down the brothers, Lauren's brothers. That has been the biggest problem for me, and I just cannot for the life of me figure out what these guys' deal is. Once again, we're back to rolling on down to the city. This pain in the ass, man. This thing just keeps on, I keep on coming back to this because I just don't know what is here that I'm supposed to find. I just don't know. Just don't know. How many Roottrees are left? Let's look that up. We've got Candy, we've got Jack, Christina, November, and Wolf. Insane names, by the way. Let's just start looking some up to see if we get anywhere. Wolf, Roottree. I doubt this will work, but I think we're starting somewhere and working from there. I just want to start trying stuff. I'm afraid Candy Roottrea is just going to give me, like, stuff about the actual candy. Give me nothing, actually. That's fine. We got Jack, Christina, and November. Jack, Christina, and November. Nothing. Nothing on all three. Bummer. V is going to death. V is going to be the death of me if I'm not told if this dress has pockets or not. I understand you, man. I understand you. A dress having pockets or not it's a game changer. It's an absolute game changer. Okay. What the hell? Why is there a 5 on this, man? Why in God's name is there a 5 on this? For the life of me, I cannot figure that out. For the life of me, I don't know what this is supposed to be about. Oh boy. Yeah, so now we're back to that dead end I was kind of afraid of. Kind of back to the dead end. We know this is correct. We know this is correct. We know this is correct. We've got the entire, this is pretty awesome actually. We've got the entire left side of the board done. Filled in, complete, good. This as well. This as well. It's just this bit right. All this. Actually, this is it right here. Yeah, this is literally it. It's just these guys right here. 10 people. 10 people, and I just don't know what their deal is. And quite frankly, I just don't know how to figure out. I don't know how to figure out how. I know what their deal is. And somehow this 5 pieces ad is still relevant. I just can't imagine how that's possible. Let's go back to the periodicals. Business watch. 5 pieces. No. Yeah. God, yeah, I'm thinking I might be kind of stuck right here. I might have to pop a hint. I really don't want to. We've gotten this far without it, but I might be kind of stuck. It really is, and I've never seen one. I'm a guy, and I don't wear dresses, but I love outfits in general. I don't think the dress has pockets, unfortunately. Ah, shame. What a shame. What a shame. Missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity. God, that's a crime. That should be a crime. I'm just joking. All right. Lauren, what is your brother's deal, Lauren? We need information on your bros. We need information on your brothers. Your brothers are killing us. I just don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about them, and I need to. I need to know what their deals are, man. How do I learn about your goddamn brothers? What can I do to learn about Lauren's brothers? Maybe just in the notes. Oh. This is something. Cassell's. We just figured out her mom's last name. There we go. It's Sarah Cassell. Nice. There we go. That was helpful. That's one spouse down. Huge. Okay, cool. That was helpful. I'm happy I figured that out. Jacob died in World War II. Lauren was pregnant. Left Sergeant Clark alone. Complaints. Dynasty is a 1. And then this has a 2. Okay, something to note. My brothers all seem to pursue paths of knowledge. Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. Okay, that's actually pretty big. That tells us that whoever Edward is, he's a lawyer. It's a path of knowledge. He's doing what his father did. That's actually pretty important. Okay, big. So here's the problem is I just don't know the photos, man. How do we confirm who's who with these photos? That's my issue right now. That's my biggest problem, I think. Like, yeah, they all pursued paths of knowledge. What knowledge? There's so much knowledge they could be, you know, studying or pursuing. We just need to learn more about her brothers as much as we can. Okay. No. Let's go to revisiting the diary. And I'm going to continue to look for any information on her brothers, any at all, that could possibly help me here. And I figure that's one of there's probably something in here. Talking about Clark, there probably is. So we know Eli C helped raise Clark and Jim as brothers. That's great. What does Eli C do, though? What does he do? I don't know what he does. I remember reading this. I still don't know what this was about. I remember we read this, talking about how Lauren was walking home with her dad as a little girl, and another girl came up and hugged her dad, and she got mad and pushed her away, but the little girl said, "That's my dad." And she was like, oh, she's lying, because this is Lauren's perspective as a young child when she wrote this. So this could be the illegitimate child that was being talked about in that like court case from either Ronald or Robert. I'm not sure. That's not what we're worried about. So we're going to move on from that. It's here. It says 3. The information is here. There is something in here that I cannot seem to figure out. Just can't quite figure it out. What if he's the guy with the glasses and he's the guy here? What if that's the case? And what if he's like an architect or like another lawyer? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what these guys do for work. I have no idea. Like they talk about paths of knowledge. That could be literally anything. See, in the military, like I have no clue. No clue. That goes there. And this goes here. All right, I'm getting close to using this hint for the sake of time because I'm staring at this for quite a while and I'm not really making much progress. It'd be so cool to say I beat this game without using a hint though, but I might just do it. Just because I'm hoping to beat the game tonight and we're so close to doing that. But if I keep taking this long, it's not going to happen. It will not happen, but I want it to so bad. I want it to so bad. I can feel how close we are, man. It's just this damn thing. These 3 pieces of evidence. Rolling on End of the City, 5 pieces ad, and the Clark story. I just don't know what is possibly left from these that I haven't already investigated. Especially this. This is an album. What the hell do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this? Really? Because I got no clue. No clue. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to work because look how long this was. Yeah. I didn't think so. I didn't think so. A cherry tree. I think I did this already, but it's worth a shot. Really? Cherry tree? Nothing? Seriously? That's surprising. Sound of Laughter. What about that? Really? 2 albums were not mentioned in Modern Music Monthly? That's shocking. I'm really surprised by that. What about Teen Blast and Jim Roottrees? No, I was thinking like maybe he's like yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Maybe he'd be in some kind of gossip magazine, people talking about him. You know? I thought maybe. What about Diamond? Maybe. No. Nope. Roottrees. Man. All right, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna pop a hint because I am. What is this? What the hell is this? Thanks for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high-resolution images. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end colorless printer or burn a music CD to listen to later. Okay, this just seems random. Oh, that was the welcome text. I just opened it. Okay. That was okay. Don't do it. Is that a don't do it to me, or is that a don't do it to V Nasty, who is working on our car? Who is that aimed at? Who is that don't do it directed at? Is it me or no? I have to know. If it's me, I won't do it. I'll continue to struggle. God, what the hell is going on with this thing? God, this is just, it's gonna drive me crazy, man. It's gonna drive me insane. It's got no idea. Got no idea. Oh, should I do it? I don't want to. I really don't. I've done so well up to this point. Try talking it through with your rubber duck. Mr. Rubber Duck, I want your help because it would help me out so much, but I also feel like it'd be just, all my accomplishments would be for nothing. It'd be for nothing. I'd feel so stupid. I have to do it. I don't know what else to do. That's my hint. Elias started the family business. Surely he must have received some attention in the media. What? In the media? Like what? Not Team Blast. What does that mean? In the media? No way. Elias Roottrees was awarded in the year in 1936 for his accomplishment of rolling out 5 pieces to a global market. Notes from the article and a scan made of the cover have been added to your evidence. No way, this is like the massive breakthrough. This can't be it. Holy shit! Look at this guy. Look how dapper he is. Dude, swagged out. Look at my man. Brother, he is swagged out. Look at this guy. Oh my god, what an absolute, what a beast. Okay, we've got a lot going on here in this write-up, so let's read it through. My concern here is, though, it's going to be totally useless, and that was just for the picture of him. Because I remember prior to this, the Business Watch issue, I think, for Carl Roottrees had a 1 on it. I think it did. And that was probably what was meant to lead us to this Business Watch article for Elias. I'm guessing. We'll have to see. Hold on a minute. Well, here you go, going back to old pieces of evidence. There is info in here that I feel like that might be useful. Carl's cousin Jim Roottrees, a notable singer who had a young daughter around the same age as Raina. Word spread. That's good to know. And here was the confirmation that Ernie Jr. was the president prior. We know that already now, but I could have used this before. Got it. Okay. That's something new. All right, let's go back to this and just read it. Okay. Inside the article is a timeline of 5 pieces. 1908, Elias forms the Roottrees Candy Company after marrying his wife, who inherited a maple farm. During the period before 5 pieces, the company is barely profitable. 1909, Elias has a daughter, the first of 5 children. 4 more follow, leading to 1922, Elias invents 5 pieces. Each of the 5 flavors is chosen based on the initials of his 5 children, 1 flavor per child. 1924, 5 pieces are first sold in some Pittsburgh markets. 1926, 5 pieces are rolled out to all of New England. 1928, the new recipe and flavor is finalized, and the candy begins nationwide distribution in department stores and other shops everywhere. He looks like you 100%. No, he does not. I don't have blonde hair. I don't wear snazzy, sexy, awesome green suits. And I'm not like 60 years old. Doesn't look like me at all. The only thing similar between us is that we both have mustaches. That's it. That's the only thing. 1935, the Roottrees Candy Company purchases every available maple farm in Pennsylvania in preparation for their global rollout. Again in 1935, with the help of his son Elias Roottrees Jr.'s architecture firm, a new industrialized factory and warehouse are built in Butler County. 1936, production is tripled and worldwide distribution begins. Hold on, Elias Roottrees Jr.'s architecture firm. Elias Jr. Elias Jr. This is Elias Jr. Okay. I was just trying to make sure that we had down whoever that was an architect. I was just trying to double check that. Okay. There's also a what's next section that claims Elias is going to pivot to ensuring his company's legacy and that the Roottrees Candy Company remains a family business. He plans to do this with the Clanted Trust. So yeah, this is all information that we could have used a long time ago. I wish I'd have thought to do this way sooner. That is a shame. But anyways, we have that now. Great. We're basically still at the same point we were at. That didn't do anything for us. That literally provided us with an optional photo of Elias Roottrees, and that's it. It did not help us do anything else, unfortunately. So I legitimately might have to do another hint, because I don't know. That didn't help us at all. That gave us no information. That didn't provide any new information for stuff that we've been looking at. So I might have to pop a second one, which is disappointing, but I think that's what I have to do. Unless I go back to these now and somehow it just clicks, which isn't going to happen. Believe me on that. Dude, what is up with this ad? Like, and also, this is pissing me off now. This is actually just getting me angry. What on God's green earth could this be about? I am so beyond curious. You know what? No, hold on. I think I might have found a connecting line. Hear me out. And this is why it's super important to go back to old evidence. We just read in here. Carl's wife Brenda was making clothes that eventually became the Root clothing brand. She was having her first daughter Raina, wear them, and it helped them become a hit. With other parents, including Carl's cousin Jim, a notable singer who had a young daughter on the same age as Raina, meaning that Jim's young daughter was wearing Root clothing, right? Could there be a Root clothing magazine, article, or something that Jim's daughter maybe was part of? Since they're, part of the family, maybe he was like, oh, let's have her in a photo shoot. Let's have her connected to it. Something like that, I'm wondering. How do I find that? I'm not entirely sure. But let's see. What if we go Root clothing? Team Blast has a lot of advertising for Root clothes. Some of them mention Brenda, but more often than not, her daughters are mentioned. You find a small bit of an ad from many years back that says, be sure to look for our upcoming article about Raina's inspirations for Root clothing. Okay, how do I find that article? Can I find that article somewhere? No. Hmm. No, it's not doing anything for me. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I hate myself. Ah! There's a tangent in James Roottrees' spider search result that's worth investigating. And there it is, folks. That's probably the exact thing I've needed this whole time. Watch me get to this page, and it's going to be so painfully obvious probably what it is. All right. Actually, there's a lot here this could be, so this might be tough. We were just here, too. We were just on this page. James Roottrees is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond, with his wife Donna LaRue. The duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rollin' On Down to the City. It's now in your evidence folder. Although Jim writes the majority of his songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by a fan to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but has its fans who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. I believe we've looked this up before. No, we haven't. Oh, God. See, that sucks. Because I thought I had looked this up. I remember talking about this when we saw the Diamond's Dazzlers thing. I remember saying, like, oh, like, probably should, like, look into this. I know I said that. If I check the VODs, I guarantee I mentioned probably needing to, like, look that up. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. That I had to use a hint for that, but it's okay. It's helpful because now we're getting somewhere. I'm not going to be mad. It's fine. I had to use hints. Just try not to, but, you know, being that I'm streaming this, I don't want to be here all day. Okay. Diamond's Dazzlers is the name of the official fan club for Jim and Diamond. You find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail on a random forum about video games. How did we find this? One reply mentions that Jim and Diamond still send out Christmas cards every year to Diamond's Dazzlers. It's accompanied by some pictures, as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. There's a fierce debate in the subsequent post about whether that's cool or pathetic. Amongst the pictures of Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant. The card from 1996 included pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. That picture has been added to your evidence. Oh, there we go. Boom, there he is. Wolf Roottree. Fucking crazy name, by the way. Who names their son Wolf? Come on. The description said it included a picture of his son Wolf listening to his parents' latest music. Okay, interesting. So now we have Wolf Roottree. Now, we don't know if he is the first child or the second child. So, we need to look up the Floozies. The Floozies are an all-female punk band operating in New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently, they were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in the good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be the children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They were probably losing a fortune. The reviewer said, although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby, the 7th track. Yeah, I can see why you guys are struggling with song names like Beef Baby. There is no picture of the Floozies performing live, but the cover from the CD they were selling, oh good lord, Conquistador, has been added to your evidence. And then I'm going to guess that this is, yep, Candy Roottrie, and she's on guitar vocals. That is the guitar. Boom, there is our picture. Candy Roottrie and Wolf Roottree. What a dynamic duo you two are. You two are something else. All right, I'm going to guess that Candy is in fact older because she just looks older. That's just my educated guess. And if I get these correct, this should lock in. She could be college age. Nope, Or no, she's just an artist. No, or excuse me, no, she's not a, I think artist means like painter. She's a singer. She is a musician. Hey, there we go. Nice. Nice. Okay, we had to use a hint to get there. I'm only counting the one hint because I don't think it's that relevant. I'm not gonna. Oh, Ronald was right. Oh, that's pretty big. Okay, that's actually awesome. Ronald was right. Okay, that's great. That's great because that now confirms that this is Robert. We just don't know his job yet. Once we figure out his job, we'll get him locked in. Okay, we're at 41. Okay, we are now at 41. Why didn't he get locked in? Is he a college student? He's probably a college student because in this picture, he's a high school grad. He's probably a college student now. I'm gonna change that to college. Okay. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And just like that, rolling on into the city has now been knocked down from a 5 to a 1. So there you go. That was all it was. We knew it was connected to their kids. I knew it was. I absolutely knew it was. Just couldn't figure it out. But it turns out it was just James Roottrees' webpage. So it wasn't actually the piece of evidence itself, which kind of helps me understand how I should be going about the rest of this. Probably just going on web pages is probably the most helpful thing I can do. What if I looked up Conquistador on Modern Music Monthly? Yeah, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. All right. So now we need to figure out these Roottrees over here, Gwen's bit of family here, these rascals. And then it's just Lawrence Brothers. It's literally just Lawrence Brothers. I just do not know how to pin these guys down. They are such a mystery to me. So we're going to start with exactly how I just started with James Roottree. I'm going to go back to basics, and we're just going to go Clark Rafferty. A few fans of the band, Jim and Diamond, seem to mention that he used to make music with Clark Rafferty. They mentioned an album called These Times. We explored this before, didn't get anywhere. So, what about Clancy Edward Roottree? I believe that also got me nowhere. But I will try again. That brings up the Clancy Trust. Okay. That's fine. We read about this already. It does bring up the Roottrees versus RR. Which I do feel is probably pretty relevant. Stop, please. Okay, let's look at this again. RR attempted unsuccessfully to remove a fellow family member from the trust. Okay, used two arguments. Yeah, this just doesn't tell me much. Doesn't tell me much, unfortunately. Although, just going back to Robert here, I'm going to put him down as a college student, first of all. Just because he seems like he could be around that age. So let's just do that to start. He's also not married. So this is my focus right now. My focus is Lawrence Brothers. That's it. That's what I want to know. I want to know what the deal is with her brothers. That is my goal right now. That is my goal. That's 3 guys that I need to figure this out. And I think the Clark stuff has got to be the connection. I'm so convinced that's what the connection is. But I've read through these and it just nothing stands out to me. Like, the good thing is we figured out that Edward is a lawyer because he's going to take over Clancy Edwards' department. The biggest thing really is I just don't know if the picture's correct. That's my problem, really. That's my main issue is I just don't know if the picture's right. Like, the pictures could be backwards. I have no idea. I feel like these pictures are like this. Also, we can start to do press of elimination like the lady at the door said. Because now we're getting very low on remaining Roottrees. We've only got Jack, Christina, and November. That's 2 of these and 1 of these. So, Edward Roottree's daughter, daughter or son, is one of these 3. I just gotta find out which. It's 2 girls, 1 boy. 2 girls, 1 boy. So Ronald Rootree is a director. If I could just find out, like, maybe like a movie he's directed, like, what if we looked him up in Starlet? He's a director, isn't he? No. Nothing. Okay. We've tried this before, haven't we? It didn't get us anywhere. It did not. Okay. Okay. He's a director, but I don't really know what any movies. What movies would he have worked on? Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Now that I think about it, what if we go back to Gwen Rootree? Because she's a lot more easily found on the internet. She was an actress. She was famous. She could definitely have been the connection to get her son to be a director. That actually would make a lot of sense. So let's start looking at maybe at some of her movies. Guys Like Us and Christmas Mission. Guys Like Us. No. Let's go Christmas. Nope. Mission. Oh, that doesn't help much either. What about other people like Harrison Lane, Leslie Florence? No, let's try Harrison Lane. No. Huh, okay. Yeah, this is a dead end. It literally says so. Just to double check, let's look at Western Frontiers. Nope, Frontiers. It brings up the same page. Okay. So that was no good, unfortunately. That was no good. Didn't help. What if you guys are just all lawyers? What if they're just all lawyers, huh? What then? What then? There's got to be something here I'm missing. There's got to be something. Hold on. I remember reading this before. I read this a while ago. On the back of the photo, in childish print writing, it says November. Oh my goodness. November Roottrees. That's her. That's November. And then it's just her, and they're not even here for this photo because they were in Paris. This is November Roottrees. Oh my God, that's huge. Let's go. That's November Roottrees. That is massive. Now, the question is, who is her parents? Are her parents in this photo? I don't know. So here's the four of them. Lauren, Edward, Eli C., and Clancy Jr. See, like, we've confirmed who Eli C. is because it says that he looks like their pop, and he in the pictures you can just tell that they look like each other. I just can't find anything to connect the other two. That's the biggest issue, is I cannot find the link. It is so difficult to find the connection. So, like, we know she goes here. I just don't know who her father is. It could be this short guy. I don't know. I have no way to know. And I have no idea what Eli C's job is. He could do. He could do literally anything. He could do anything. Let me think here. If this is the photo of the next generation and this is the photo of the free spirits, the free spirits comes after next generation. Next generation, here's the four of them. Then we got free spirits. November's in here, so she's not standing with her parents. They're not in this photo. Eli M. Is that just Eli Miracle? Yeah, it's Elias Miracle. Damn. What is your deals, you dang brothers? What do you guys do? What is your deal? I don't know what these guys do. I got no idea. I just don't know what their deal is, man. I don't know what these guys do. I just don't know anything about them. I got nothing on these guys, man. Nothing. I got nothing on these guys. I got nothing. I gotta do it. I got no idea. The spider search result for Teen Blast mentioned a Roottrees. Let's see if we can track down that edition. Really? Teen Blast is a magazine aimed at teenage girls. The website has a new section that offers condolences for the loss of the Roottrees sisters. Their fashion line was often covered by a magazine, and Random Roottrees first appeared on the cover of her 16th birthday. Okay. I don't think this is gonna work, but okay. That's great. This is just the optional photo for Rain that I was looking for. That's literally all this is. Oh wait, shit. Maybe it's not. There's 6 clues here. Hold the phone. What the hell? Okay, let's back up. If this is the thing that was gonna break this whole case open, I'm gonna be shocked. I would never have found this because I wouldn't have thought to look up Teen Blast because I would have thought that I'd already done that before probably. Okay. There's an article about Raina Roottrees from 1994. This issue also mentions TMS and Brother Trouble. I remember we looked up TMS before. Who is this again? It's heartthrob Tommy Mark Sheridan. He had a relationship with Raina Roottrees. Okay. After a short engagement, they married in 1997 when she was only 19 and he was 23. That's yikes. Yikes. Sitcom Brother Trouble. Did we ever look that up? Brother Trouble. Interesting. Brother Trouble was a 1990 sitcom about two 16-year-old brothers, the same age, when adopted, played by Tommy Mark Sheridan and Dustin Christopher Baker. Their single mother, played by stand-up Penelope Tessa Green, often had to navigate her job as a magazine columnist, as well as the troubles that came with raising two boys who were extremely competitive in sports, academics, and even romantic pursuit of their next-door neighbor, Roxy. The showrunner was small-screen director Ron Roottrees. So there's the confirmation that Ron was a director. I got there because he had the film school jacket, but there was more concrete evidence. The show had strong standings through the entirety of season 1, rocketing both Sheridan and Baker to instant stardom, mostly amongst the teenage girl demographic. However, it was canceled in 1991, midway through the second season, due to a significant drop-off in ratings. Okay. Let's go back to the article. In an interview, Raina talked about her inspirations. One important thing I learned from an earlier age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. My grandpa was a college professor who taught lectures about history. Finally, this is exactly what I was hoping this would have. Her grandfather is one of Lauren's goddamn brothers, man. Finally! Oh my god, finally. Thank God. He always taught me that history was full of people from famous families who wasted their fame and fortune by taking it for granted. The Roottrees. Oh, excuse me. It's kind of like your family, isn't it? Instead, he told me I should go out and use my name to accomplish something. I think he may have practiced that lecture a lot because I have other people in my family that have also made the Roottrees name famous for things besides candy. Yeah, she got me there. I'm kind of talking that shit, but they actually kind of do stuff. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my friends tell me they had to read in school. I took his advice and now I work with my mom, designing clothing. I helped decide what colors and patterns I want to model. Then she designs the clothes with a team of amazing men and women. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandma Laura tells me she was really proud of what we've managed to accomplish. Okay. That's something. That something is that Roottrees Clancy Jr. was a professor. Now, this could be any of these guys could be her grandfather, but I'm assuming this is probably the one she's talking about, considering it's, her dad's father, making him like her immediate grandfather. Or wait. Hold on. No, wait, I'm wrong. It has to be him. Yeah, because these would be, sorry, this would not be her grandfathers. These would be her great uncles, and that'd be her great aunt. Or no, Grandma Laura. I don't remember how this shit works. You'd think from solving a family tree for this long, I'd understand how family trees work, but this is where I always get confused. This is her grandparents on her dad's side. Then she'd have grandparents on her mom's side. Wouldn't these be... Yeah, because this would be her dad's uncles and aunt. So this is wrong. This is not her grandma Laura. You can call her that. This should be her great aunt Laura and her great uncle Elias C. and Edward. So you guys gotta get that wrong, but whatever. So I'm flipping this again. We know it's Clancy Jr. We know he's a professor. Not sure about the picture. Whatever. And then, what if he is K through 12? College. I'm trying to like get this to lock in. We've almost got it. We're so close. He's got to be a lawyer, right? Same department as his dad, right? Maybe he's a lawyer? No. Oh, we're so close, man. Okay. Okay. We looked up TMS. We looked up Brother Trouble. Looked up her grandpa. We know who that is. Well, hold on. Now I gotta think. Because she calls Laura Grandma Laura, Grandpa could be referring to any of these guys now. So maybe he's the professor. You know? Now I'm wondering. It could be any of these guys. I have no idea, actually. Because now I'm really unsure. Because now any of these guys could be... Oh, damn. This is getting ridiculous. Okay, so... I need more than this. This isn't enough. I need more. I cannot figure out what these guys are. I hate these guys so much. These guys I've been so nothing but trouble, man. These guys are the worst. I got no idea, man. No clue. Oh my god. The 5 pieces ad is finally at 0. So it was at 4 prior to this. What was the 4? I just have no idea. Somehow it was tied to the teen. Oh my god, it was because of the Teen Blast. Yeah. It's because it wanted me to just look up Teen Blast on the internet. That's what it wanted me to do. That's literally what it wanted me to do, was look up Teen Blast. That's crazy. That's wild. Huh. Alright, whatever. What if we go back to Brother Trouble, maybe? And then like start looking up like some people on here. Like Dustin Christopher Baker. They seem irrelevant, but it could be worth looking at these people. Alternate review had DCB by his teenage fans. In Xena Brother Trouble, he's appeared in a few straight to VHS movies. Most popular which was Jane Eyre, which reimagined the Charlotte Bronte novel as a high school romance with a focus on skateboarding. He doesn't seem to be associated with the Roottrees. But Jane Eyre. Nope, same thing. Okay. Here we go. Penelope Green is a retired comedian. There was a result for the Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno that claims Penelope got her stand-up start and first did her famously raunchy breast milk cheese routine in the 80s before she was a TV star on Brother Trouble. The site claims she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances for fundraisers, doing more family-friendly material. You find a picture labeled Joko-Lantern 1997, as well as a different picture labeled Jack watching one of his mother's charity sets 1994. Both have been added to evidence. Here's my prediction. She married Ronald Roottries because he was the director on the show. She married him. They had a kid named Jack. That's my prediction right now. Jack. He filmed the song about a comedy club called The Laugh Lounge. It was captioned Jack watching one of his mother's charity sets in 1994. And guess what? I think this all but confirms it. I think this confirms what I just said because I'm now remembering, which I had forgotten, that I think the last Rootree name was a Jack Rootree. It was! I think we finally figured it out. This is so big. This is so big for the brand. For the culture. Penelope. Tessa Green. This is her. What if Jack's actually at the back here? Because he looks quite young. No. No dice. You know like. It no like. Okay. Who's the last Rootree? Christina. Christina. Okay. There's still 2 in here. Okay, let's go back to Brother Trouble. We're not done here. What if we just do Ron Rootree? Small director, head of the head of RR Productions. Okay, we now know for sure that Ron Rootree is RR. That's good to know. We kind of already figured that. It was either him or his brother, but that's good to know. Maybe try fixing them. Yeah, I'm thinking. Sorry, I've been terrible at looking at chat. So I don't know, Noobs, you said that a while ago about these guys up here. I just don't know if Jack is first or second now is the problem. Jack, let's go Jack. Let's go Christina. Christina Rootree. Wait, was that a picture of Jack or Christina? Hold on. Pause. It's a photo titled Joke Lantern. It was taken during one of Penelope Tessa Green's fundraisers. That's got to be Christina, probably. And she's a baby. She's a baby. Hey! There we go! Yes! Okay. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Boom! And we got Edward Rootree, the lawyer. Finally, we confirmed one of them. Because as long as we confirm one of them, we can make massive strides off of that. I just needed one confirmed. I needed one of them confirmed. Because now we know that this is definitely the picture for Clancy Jr. And that he is likely the professor. Meaning we just got to figure out what Elias C's deal is, and we are in business up here. Finally. Finally. Oh my god, finally. I'm so glad we locked that in. Thank God. Interesting enough, we didn't lock this in. Somehow this is wrong down here. For November Rootree. I don't know how that's possible. What could I have gotten wrong here? Because she doesn't fit in anywhere else, anywhere on this page. Unless... No, I was going to say unless she's had it in this top secret stuff. That's way too high up on the... That's way too high up on the family tree for her to be that young. So no, she's got to be here, I think. Not sure, actually. Okay, so we got all this confirmed. Awesome. Robert Rootree, I just don't know what his profession is. We just need to know his profession. We get his profession, we get him locked in. We're literally on the last 4. It's just Robert, November, Elias C, and Clancy. That's it. That's it. We're on the last bit. We are so close, man. Holy cow, we're so close. I want to finish this so bad. We're so close, I can taste it. Okay. What else is here that we can pull from just a bit more? Roxy just seems like it's relevant to the show. I'm going to look it up. Didn't think so. Okay. I feel like we've probably gotten as much as we can from this Brother Trouble page. So let's go back to here. Also, how to know if she's interested. Okay. I'm not going to take relationship advice from Teen Blast. We've got Raina. We've got TMS. We did Brother Trouble. My grandma was a college professor. Taught lectures about history. Okay, what else is here that's... What about the Raina Sweet 16? Can that be somehow relevant? Sweet 16. No. I don't see this being relevant, but I'm just trying it. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, back to the board. I'm fairly confident that Clancy Jr. is a professor. This is his picture. Fairly confident that Elias C. is something else. This is his picture. Just gotta figure out what his deal is. So we not got that many names left here that are actually in play. I think I could kind of cheat and just start looking them up on the internet. Although I'm gonna guess none of these will show up on the internet. Not a single one. I'm honestly possibly, thinking that. Because these are just random spouses, I think, of other characters. So they're not going to be on the internet at all. They're going to be like in random articles and shit that I got to find. That's what I'm thinking, to be totally honest. So once again, I'm left wondering, how do I narrow down you two assholes? How do I figure you guys out? And then there's also Robert Roottrees, which I don't know what his deal is. Where are they at? They got any clues about his deal in this photo? He doesn't have a film school jacket. He's wearing basic old clothes. Hanging out with his bro and his mom in Paris. What about RR Productions? Did I ever look that up? RR Productions. Ooh. Defunct production company responsible for Brother Trouble. You find a comment on a Usenet board stating that Brother Trouble ended up being an iconic name for considering the rumors about RR Productions, Ron, and Robbie Roottrees. Oh, so devious that they're using different names for him. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. There's not much relevant information about Robbie Roottrees. In a comment thread on a message board about television cliches, you find a thread called "Why Was Brother Trouble Cancelled?" One user speculates, I think it's because the writing really went really downhill in season 2. They actually had an episode where Roxy was addicted to sniffing markers. Another person replied, maybe it's due to the rumor about Robbie Roottrees in Silver Screen magazine. There's a link to some kind of article, but it appears to be dead. Silver Screen magazine. I did mean Silver Screen magazine. Did you mean Silver Screen magazine? Yeah, I did. Oh, it's one word. It's one word. It's one word. Okay, we just get another periodical. I didn't think we'd be finding more periodicals at this stage of the game. Silver Screen Magazine was a Hollywood insiders magazine, focusing less on actors and actresses and more about the nitty-gritty of writing, directing, costuming, set design, film promotion, and other elements of filmmaking. And ran from 1983 to 1993, it was bought by a bigger, more recognizable magazine a few years ago. And the website now redirects to the new magazine. The new magazine doesn't appear to have any relevance to your case. Okay, let's just go then to Robbie Roottrees. A small rumors article from 1992 that claims the self-taught television screenwriter Robbie Roottrees was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert in a French court of law. It seems he, again allegedly, embezzled from the company RR Productions to fuel a gambling habit that left him hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Oh my God. Robbie, what are you doing, man? He then fled to Paris, where he grew up, and then Silver Screen continues to insist that this is all very much allegedly, assaulted an officer who came to question him. The article's author says they were unable to get a statement from French authorities, but received information from an anonymous source and were able to confirm through public record that there was a trial involving a Robert Roottrees around the time that Brother Trouble was canceled. Wow, okay, that's crazy. So first off, self-taught television screenwriter. Boom. So we know that Robert Roottrees now finally is a screenwriter, so he is locked in. Awesome. And I think that's pretty much all we needed from that section, to be honest with you. What about if we do Ron Roottrees? Because it feels like it'd be weird that if it's just one piece of information from an entire periodical, but it's entirely possible. Oh, here we go. There's an article about Ron Roottrees from 1984 entitled "Don't Blame Nepotism, He Gets Results." After finding some small screen success, first as the director for many soap opera episodes, and then stepping in as the showrunner to turn around a few struggling productions, Ron has decided to start his own television production company. Ron was born in the US but grew up in Paris with his one famous mother and his brother Robbie. He gobbled American cinema whenever he could, and when he was old enough, returned to Hollywood to attend film school. He brings a special kind of charisma and an eye for unusual shots, particularly when it comes to comedy. Those he's worked with have gone on record as saying he's an attentive director who can work with actors to make sure the timing of a joke lands perfectly. Ron plans to pitch new shows to major television studios as soon as 1986. Until then, he plans to find the right project. He has occasionally called upon his younger brother for script punch-ups and has thought about bringing him into the fold. Okay. That's just more information that we already knew, but interesting, sure. Honestly, I don't think we need to keep looking around in the silver screen stuff, because that's just this whole family, like, and they're delving into movies. So we're just stuck here. It's literally just these three, and then we're done. That's it. That is truly it. Once again, I am stuck with these folks that I just have not been able to figure out one bit. These guys have been, God, such a pain in my side. And once again, I'm sure if I use a hint, it'll again be like, oh, you missed looking up this one thing related to Lawrence Brothers. I'm sure it's gonna be just like that, unfortunately. That's the shame of it. That's the frustration of it all. One thing I do want to check real quick to see if I can figure out the spouses of Miracle Jr. or Miracle the Third or both is we have evidence on them from this postcard. Oh, yep, there you go. Miracle the Third and his wife Nicole. So his wife is Nicole Smith. What about Miracle Jr. though? Miracle Jr., who's said to be world famous and gets top billing. Miracle Jr. is on the notable Roottrees list in your evidence. He's notable, so we should be able to find out something about him. Anything about his wife? According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in 1979 when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. A news expose revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in a disguise. There we go, wife Edith. I figured these would probably be easy finds, so I wanted to do a bit more research into those. Now the question really is, who is Miracle OG's wife? Who is his wife? How do I find that out? That's the real question. Let's see. What about just Miracle Roottrees? Okay. What about Miracle Network? Same page. Okay. Back to Miracle Roottrees Jr. Maybe something about his mother that I missed. That'd be great. No, I don't know. Not sure. Laura, Helen, Joan, April. It's hard to know, to be honest. It's hard to know. All right, well, we'll come back to that. All right. Back to this. Back to the task, the main task that has been eating at me for the last 3 hours. Oh, jeez. So, going back to our evidence board. I like to imagine there's one of you out there, or someone maybe will watch this in the future someday and think like, and they just know like what I should be looking up right now, and they're screaming at their monitor, their TV, or whatever. And like, you are an idiot, and I'm just not picking up what I should be doing right now, but just not sure. So as far as evidence, Clark has a 2, Names has a 1, Team Les has a 2, 1 1 1 1. So I'm thinking of sticking to this Teen Blast here because it's been pretty positive so far. Something in here. It's this, man. I'm telling you. It's I just need to know. Maybe like where her grandpa taught history, like then I can get more information on that. Like I just need a little more. Just need a little more. That's all I need. Fuck it, I'm doing a hint. We've already been using hints up to this point. I'm blasting one of it. In one of her diary entries, Lauren mentions the name of Jim's father. What? Yeah, I know. It's Elias C. We know that. I just don't know what he does. You don't think I know that already? Yeah, it's Eli C. We know this. It's clear as day. What does he do for work? Give me another one. Yeah, I know. I know. I need his profession. Thank you. Thank you. Bad news. I had to come get rescued. Oh no. Oh, be nasty. I'm so sorry. I'm finally home though. Anyway. Oh god, I'm so sorry. That sounds like a really long evening. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're home though. Glad you're home. You can find a mention of Eli's occupation in a periodical article about someone closely related to him. Okay, someone closely related to him? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, maybe Butler County Times? No. About James? No. Clancy Jr. What? Give me it again, Doc. Just spell it out for me. Reread the Modern Music Monthly article about Jim Roottrees. You gotta be kidding me. No way. No way this was in here. Okay. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I... Oh no. I cried lots. I feel guilty. I'm just a girl. I don't know about cars. No, I mean, it's not on you. Like, how are you supposed to know that your car was gonna crap out on you and just... I'm sorry. That's terrible. That's awful. Okay. Well, good news. I'm so sorry. That's so mean. Good news is we're getting very close to finishing this. Okay. Oh my god, there it is. That's also how my father was connected to Roottrees. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Damn. There it is. There it is. He is an advertiser. Or he's in advertising. Okay. Despite that, though, we're still not locked in. Which makes me think something isn't right. I thought that was going to do it, to be totally honest with you guys. Could this be something else in here? What? What am I missing? What am I missing now? All of his old ad campaigns. He's in advertising. He has to be. He absolutely has to be in advertising. It's not a debate. He has to be in advertising. Yeah, gonna have to rewatch the VOD because I really enjoyed this game. Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Tonight's been a struggle for sure. Just compared to the last two streams, just because I think obviously as we've been narrowing down the characters, the pieces of evidence have been so much harder to find, to the point where I did unfortunately finally use hints tonight, and I've used a couple now, which is fine. I just don't want to, sit here for hours and not do this, and I was really wanted to beat this tonight. So unfortunately, I did not get the hintless run like I was hoping for, but that's fine. It is what it is. I think overall we've still been doing very well, very well. Okay, so Jim's father absolutely has to be, nope, advertising. And we know that's him. At least I think it is. It's possible I could have been wrong this whole time about whose father's who. No way, right? No, okay, that didn't change it. So then what do I have wrong right now? What do I have wrong? Okay. I don't know what I have wrong. I really don't. I feel like this should be everything. Really am not sure. Let's go back to this. I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. When we look in the old photo of the 5 pieces, their Pop is this guy all the way on the left. Clearly blonde hair, no glasses, no nothing, right? So I'm thinking that means she's got to be referring to this guy. That has got to be Elias C, right? Right. Maybe they're flipped. Is he the professor? And he's the advertiser? No, that doesn't make sense because Jim said his dad was in advertising, his father. So that can't be it. So then what is wrong here? I truly don't see what's wrong with any of these four. I have no idea. The only thing I can think of is the fact that November Roottrees would probably be old enough. Yeah, if her dad is Edward, like I'm thinking here, she'd be so old that she wouldn't be a kid anymore. This photograph would be very old, but it's just the one we have, meaning her occupation is not what I'm seeing here, right? Meaning we need to figure out her occupation. That's what I'm now realizing is probably wrong. How the hell do I figure that out? How the hell do I figure that out? Oh, jeez. Should have been here tonight. We totally could have cracked this. No hints. It's possible. You never know. Although I'll be honest with you, be nasty. If you do watch the VOD and you're going through it, because then you'll be like, able to like see if you could have figured it out before me. I think you're gonna see it. This has been a brutal one. This has been tough. It has not been easy. This has been a rough go of it. Let me tell you. What if she's a lawyer like her dad? No. Musician. Oh. What did Lauren say? Lauren mentioned how everyone in the family in the Free Spirit generation like was something creative. They all aspire to be musicians, artists, dancers. She's a dancer. She's a dancer. Watch this hit. Watch this hit. Boom! Boom, baby! There we go. Let's go. That's huge. That is so big. Holy shit.
To my genealogy genie. If you're reading this, it means you've locked in 49 blood relatives.
Damn right.
Congratulations. I knew you
Yeah,
could do
never a
it.
doubt. No
There
hints.
are 2 more entries on the family tree I'd like you to consider. These last 2 are optional. You can summon me whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth. So make sure you're ready.
Oh, come on. They're not optional, guys. We know that, right? They're not optional. They're mandatory. There's a character named November. The Roottrees are so Kardashian vibes now. Only our Kardashian would have named someone November. Oh, you have no idea, Venus. Let me show you this. Hold on. Yup, this is what I figured it was. Who is EC, the farmhand? These last 2 are optional and won't lock in until you say, I'm ready. You can summon me whenever you wish. However, this will end your search and reveal the truth. So make sure you're ready. Oh, boy. Okay. EC, the farmhand, and EC's spouse. I actually think I already know this. I think I've already figured this out. I don't think it's actually that difficult. First of all, I think this is EC. Since we have this mystery photograph that's not been used anywhere else. So I think it's pretty obvious that's EC. Also, V Nasty, just since you were curious, you thought November was bad. Check out Wolf and Candy Roottrees. I'm sure you'll like Candy Roottrees since you're V-Star Candy. But Wolf Roottrees is just fucking wild to me. But yeah, there's that. It makes sense that their parents are the musicians, like the disco era musicians, that they would name them Wolf and Candy. Makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay. I will admit, before we finish the game as well, I'd like to try and get 100%. And we're very close to doing that. We just need 5 spouses. Miracle Roottrees, Marguerite, and the 3 brothers. The problem is, I have no goddamn idea how to figure out their spouses. I could barely figure out who these guys were to begin with. Lord only knows how I'm going to figure out who their spouses are. That seems like a whole nother can of worms. Anyways, let's at least figure out EC's deal since we're here. So, as far as EC goes, I remember EC was mentioned in Lauren's diaries. Where was it? Here we go. So, we read about Samantha Roottrees. She was sent to live on the farm as an illegitimate child before she was ushered back into the Roottrees family formally and kind of reintegrated into the company in a more like normal role. So right here it says, this Lauren talking about her father. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor. We looked this up just earlier. I'll look it up again. But we found out confirmed bachelor was often used as a derogatory term to imply that a man was gay. Meaning, we are going to assume that EC is gay and that his spouse is actually a man, not a woman. And that his spouse was actually the roommate, Mr. Miller. That is my theory, my hypothesis. Now, issue. I don't know if Mr. Miller is gonna cut it here. I need a first name, I'm thinking. I just don't know how to get that first name. That's my problem right now. That is my problem, truth be told. Kylie Jenner's most recent baby's name was named Wolf before they changed his name to Air. They're literally the Kardashian Jenners. They are, and that's why I hate them so much. That's why I loathe them. Are you serious? Kylie Jenner's baby's name was going to be Wolf, and then they changed it to Air with an E? Are you for real? That's insane. Like, what? Do we know what kind of roommate? Like, university roommate or something? No. Like, when they're referring to roommates here, like, they lived on a farm. It was Sam, EC, and then this roommate, Mr. Miller. And since the Pop is referring to him as a confirmed bachelor, implying that he is possibly gay, I think it's heavily implied that this roommate is just his like, you know, his gay lover. That's what I'm thinking here. That's my hypothesis. Do we know what this farm was called, or know something that can point us to the name of the farm? Good idea. We do. I have to figure out how to get there again. Let's start by looking up Elias Roottrees. Did I ever look this up? Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy? By Bess Williams? If I didn't, I'm gonna be super mad at myself. Damn it. No way I didn't look this up, right? No shot. No shot. Okay, yeah, it's useless. Okay, we're good. We're good. So, we've heard the name of the farm before. I just need to find it. It was in a write-up about Elias. Oh, wait, we actually have this. Could it be in here? No. I know, we read that today. We were reading about it. No. Where did we read this? We read this today. The name of the farm it started with an A. It started with an A. Oh, no. I never thought it'd be relevant now, but it's turning out that it is. What if we look up? Oh, what if we just look up Gwyneth Anderson? How do you spell this? G-W-Y Neth. Okay. Here we go. The first Anderson Maple Farm. Anderson Maple Farm. So let's try this. Anderson Maple Farm. Same page. Damn. Okay. Okay. How can we narrow down who this Miller guy is? Have we searched for said farm? If you did, maybe it's in your search history. That's actually a good idea. Well, we ended up finding it anyways, though. Miller. How can we narrow this guy down? Miller. Mr. Miller. You know what sucks? There's a very real chance. I mean, I don't know. I was going to say, actually, there's a very real chance, like, the name is just supposed to be Mr. Miller, but then I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense, because it's a family tree. We've not done that for anyone on this board. Why would they just start doing Mr. now? It's got to be his actual name. What if you searched up Miller Maple Farm, or I don't know? That's worth a shot. Miller. EC Roottrees. No. EC Anderson Farm. No. Let's go back to evidence. Go back to the diaries. Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller. Let's go to the original diary. Check this out. Sam. We found it. We fucking found it. We found it. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farmhands, EC and John. It's John Miller. John Miller. The spouse to EC, and the gay relationship clicks too, because it says guardian, adoption, or otherwise. They obviously didn't birth. Well, actually, it wouldn't matter if it was a woman either way, because they didn't give birth to Sam. So actually, what I just said doesn't make sense. So forget that. Okay. So with that, I think being totally correct, I'm feeling pretty good. We've got every optional photo, which is awesome. We've got every main profile. The only thing left is there's 5 spouses that we have not identified. 3 for the brothers and 1 for the 2 of the 5 pieces. I want to spend like a few minutes only trying to see if I can figure these out, because I'd love to 100% this game. That'd be so sick. See if we can figure this out with the time we have. Otherwise, if I can't after like maybe 10 to 15-ish minutes, we're going to throw it. We're going to send it. It's going to suck that we got so close, but I don't want to spend, all day long on this. I will say one thing. We can at least narrow this down immediately, thankfully, because there's only one male. And it has to be here. So it's Cornwall Linus. Boom. And now there's just 4. Laura Carlson, Helen Lennon, Joan Monroe, and April Quaritch. Those are our 3 lovely lasses. Now, first and easiest thing we can do, bit of a cheat. I don't think it's going to work either way because I don't think these names are going to show up, but it's to start looking these people up on the internet. So let's start with Laurel Carlson. Nothing. I don't think anything's going to show up for all of these, but it's worth a shot. Helen Lennon. Nope. Joan Monroe. Nope. And last but not least, April Quaritch. Didn't think so. Okay. So now we are back to square one as far as these go. How can I possibly narrow these down at all? That is the question. Let's start with Miracle Roottrees. I feel like that should be the easiest one to figure out. Probably. I'm guessing. Hopefully. So let's start with Miracle Jr. We have the Miracle Network. Clergy Watch. Let's check Clergy Watch, actually. Because that helped us figure out the name of Miracle Jr.'s wife, Edith. Just pulls up the same article. Unfortunate. Let's try Miracle Network. I was just on here earlier, I believe. What about this? Miracle Roottrees Estate. No. Okay. When his descendant was a Miracle Roottrees. Late in his mother's life. My brother takes over 14 years. Yeah, nothing in here. Wait, go back. Elias and Gwyneth. What are you thinking? How far back are we going? His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth. Okay, I see what you're thinking, but so unfortunately, no. This article talks about Miracle Roottrees and Miracle Jr. So Miracle Roottrees' parents are Elias and Gwyneth. His parents, these guys. So nice try. Nice try. But unfortunately, that's not it. Oh boo. I do have an idea though. I wonder if she's mentioned in the photo that he's first in. This one. Actually, wait, no, he definitely wouldn't be because look how young he is. Never mind. What about this one though? Because he's in this one down here. Is his wife mentioned anywhere in this blurb? Possibly. Nope. No dice, unfortunately. Okay. Where could I get more info on his wife? Where, oh where, oh where? What if we looked up Miracle's tour? Damn. Okay. What about the Butler County Times? What is Miracle Jr. world famous for? He's just a preacher, apparently. He's a He's a preacher from like a mega church style deal. So that's what so apparently he's world famous. um, Okay. How do we narrow this down? Man, this could be like the hardest part of the whole thing is figuring out these spouses' names. I got no idea. The worst part is we have the names. We just don't know which is which. It could be any one of these. That's what truly sucks. Sorry for not being active, just spending some time with my friends. Don't ever apologize for that, man. Friends gotta come first, brother. Friends come first. You don't gotta apologize to me. I'm here for your entertainment, my friend. You owe me nothing. And I am keeping myself very entertained. Entertained and frustrated by this game. Okay. I gotta think. What could we possibly do to narrow this down? I know this one. I just figured it out. I just figured out this one, which is something. If we go back to a piece of evidence I had earlier on a Team Blast article about Raina, she said in here, and I actually made a comment about it. She said, although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, her grandpa being Clancy Jr., that's her grandpa. Grandma Laura tells me that he was really proud of what he managed to accomplish. I thought she was referring to Lauren as Grandma Laura, just shortening Lauren to Laura for some reason. I literally said, that's weird, that's not her grandma. That would be her great aunt. So I guess she's just calling her grandma, but that's wrong. She was saying the right thing. It is her Grandma Laura. Okay, there we go. That's something. Now, there are two left. Edward Roottrees' wife and Elias C's wife. This is going to be tricky. That's for damn sure. Where'd Elias C? Elias C gets mentioned a lot in the diaries, but I've read these things so many times that I don't think his wife ever gets mentioned. We're down to Helen, Joan, and April. I'm gonna be so real right now. I'm just gonna put this as a placeholder. I'm theorizing that this is April, and they just got November because her name's April, and they were like, "Oh, let's keep doing the month thing. It'll be cute." That is truly a guess and has no basis yet. Watch it be right. Watch it be right. Watch it be right. Now, okay. For Americo Jr., I'm thinking he could be married to someone who's also associated with the church or preaching or something. Definitely. I think that's very likely, actually. 100%. I mean, if we're just going off of that for names purposes, then I would say it's definitely Joan. I'm thinking of like Joan of Arc. Like, I think there's a nun, sister Joan. I think that I've heard of that. That is relevant in, at least in like Christianity. So that would be probably my guess there would be Joan, the guess, but that's what I would say. And then that would just leave Helen for Elias C. Now, we could just send this and we'd be guessing on 3 of them and possibly get it right. I'd like it to be a little more concrete than that and get some kind of confirmation. But like I said, I don't want to sit here all night trying to figure out the 3 spouses when we're literally about to beat the rest of the game. So I'd like to probably move on. And that's been like all day long on it. I'm going to do a few more looking through here just to be sure. But then I probably will rip that and we'll see what happens. Well, here we get a mention of Eli C's marriage, just not to who. Gwyneth and Caroline. Who was named Caroline again? So Caroline here. Gwyneth got her name from, or Gwendolyn got her name from something like that. Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn is here. Oh, I think she's saying that it's a combination of Gwyneth and her mother, Caroline. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. I might rip this, and if we gotta hope for the best, we need to hope for the best. Helen, we know Laura's correct, and we know Linus is correct. That gives us a... What percentage chances do we have this being right? It'd be... There's 3 slots with... So there's 9 different combinations we can do here. So 1 divided by 9 is... I want to see what our odds are here. 1 divided by 9. Our odds are 11%. We have an 11% chance that we have guessed these 3 correctly. However, that's not accounting for the fact that I'm pretty sure that the April thing seems connected to November just because, like, it seems that they do something like that. You know what I mean? That seems possible, which actually then brings our chances up significantly. I cannot imagine trying to make up the name of 50 people and also trying to figure out a way to connect them through family for a game. Oh my God, I couldn't either. I have no idea how they would. I could never. I could never. This game is really well made. It's pretty damn awesome. I'm a big fan, and I'm pretty sure it's a solo dev. I'm pretty sure this game is a solo dev, and I'm really impressed. It's an amazing game. And with that compliment, I think it is time we send this so I can get out of here and we can put this thing in the books. Close this case. So with that, Joan, Linus, April, Helen, Laura, let's give it a shot. We've got EC as the farmhand, his spouse with John Miller here for the climactic reveal. Let's go. But first, here's the final optional entries you found. No! No! Oh. We were so close. I can't believe it. Laura was obviously correct. We knew Linus was correct. April was correct. I nailed that. I nailed it on April. Told you. But Helen and Joan were flipped. If we had just flipped Helen and Joan, we had it. Oh, that hurts. That hurts so bad that we could have had the hundo%. That hurts so bad. And what's even worse is it says number of optional entries for next time. I am not playing this entire game all over again just to get the 2 spouses. Are you joking? Absolutely no shot. No way. All right, well, let's see the thrilling conclusion. I'm actually so bummed about that. That'd have been so sick if we got all 5 to wrap it up. That sucks. That sucks so bad. All right, here we go.
So,
Oh, shit.
you didn't have a guess about EC, but you figured out his partner was John Miller.
Yeah, we did.
That's okay. That's what I needed to know. I'm Sam Madsen, though they know me as Samantha Roottrees.
Oh!
I got old. The only picture you have of me is from 40 years ago.
Oh my God, it's Sam.
My book tells the truth about Elias, the 5 pieces, and my parents.
Yeah, they did you dirty, Sam. I probably should have guessed that this was Sam because they did her so dirty, man. She was done so wrong.
Not my biological parents, Elias Jr. and Patsy. My fathers, Edward Clancy Roottree and John Miller.
What?
By now, you've either read Lauren's diaries, or you're just an incredible guesser. Lauren was right. I hated the 5 pieces.
Yeah,
She just didn't know my full reasoning.
right. We read that.
My father, Edward Clancy, was a great man. But his identical twin Clancy and his father, Elias, were not.
What? Holy shit, this is getting crazy.
At age 16, my father was caught kissing a farmhand.
That's not good. Well, we knew that from the confirmed bachelor thing.
Back then, they wouldn't even acknowledge gay people existed. Having one in the family was unthinkable.
Goddamn.
The same year, I was born. A bastard granddaughter. 2 stains on Elias's perfect family. He decided to fix both. They tried to erase Edward Clancy. They even removed his 5 pieces flavor. His name was deemed a dirty word. He became EC.
Oh. Oh, I missed that. She became pregnant after the birth. Her father refused to let her see Eli Jr. ever again. Her baby, Samantha, was sent to the Roottrees. Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Lauren Roottree revisiting the diary, The Will. Oh, this is the piece of evidence we didn't find. Where was this? I'm also getting so confused. So there's Edward Clancy, and he has a twin just named Clancy? The names are so similar that it's getting very hard to keep up with who's who. Oh, I can't believe I didn't know there was evidence we missed. That actually sucks. I wish I had found that.
We were sent to the farm, and the 5 pieces did their best to keep the next generation away, to isolate me from family.
Fucked up.
But Elias couldn't erase us from existence. Laura never realized I was the little girl from her diary.
And there it is. We read the bit about her meeting the girl when she was a child that said, "That's my dad." And she got mad and pushed her, and she was like, "That was weird." We knew that was important. We knew that was obviously important. We just didn't know why.
Who could blame me for being so confused that day? Her father was an exact copy of mine, except without the beard.
Oh.
And while the 5 pieces celebrated a new factory, farmhands did the real work.
Oh, shit. Okay. So Sam's real dad is not Elias Jr. It's actually Edward Clancy. Or Clancy? I don't know at this point.
It's a fluke there's a picture of my father at all. But there he is in the background. The 6th 5-piece.
Right. So we nailed that. Yeah, that was him, the mystery photo. That was pretty easy to put together.
Patsy returned. and things got complicated for
What is
Elias.
this?
She fought for my freedom from a life she deemed unworthy.
This is another piece of evidence we missed. Where did this come from? How awful is it that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin? An outcast, forced to live a life of labor under a wicked relative. Patricia Christensen, steamy correspondence by Tina Angelica. How is I supposed to find that? Wow, I'm so shocked we missed so much evidence. This might explain why I was having to guess for some of the spouses' names, and I didn't have the actual, because I didn't have the evidence that maybe said their names. This could explain this. Okay. So Sam is not actually Elias Jr.'s kid like it says on the family tree. She is Edward Clancy's twin brother's no. I'm just going to keep listening. I'm a little lost, but we're just going to keep going.
Elias relented, so long as I never learned the truth or receive inheritance. They knew I'd help my father. At Elias's will reading, I learned part of the truth. The rest I learned at home. I began to hate the 5 pieces. My father made me stay silent. He was worried history would repeat, and that his grandchildren would become outcasts.
Okay.
His fears weren't unfounded. As you know, my son Ernie died a few years ago. He had trained to take over as president.
Right. I remember that.
But due to family politics, or perhaps hubris, it went to Guy, a real Roottrees. He nearly ruined the company.
Okay.
When Ernie took over, he saved the operation. Over 13 years, he made the family billions.
Oh my God.
Ernie earned about $36.
What? Oh wait, yeah, his salary's tied to a pack of 5 pieces, but he wasn't. Oh
They
my
got
God,
by
I
on
see
Debbie's
it.
salary, but when he fell ill, he couldn't pay his medical bills. His death was my tipping point.
Oh my God, it's coming together. It's coming together. Who the hell is Tina? I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm starting to get an idea here, though.
Originally, my book was meant to expose Elias's hypocrisy. Until I started to look into the other dirty laundry.
Yeah, there's Robbie Roottrees, who got in trouble in France with the law.
Ron tried to have Robbie removed from the trust, but couldn't. Robbie was a blood relative, even out of wedlock. That sounded familiar. The Clancy Trust that Elias established was designed to secure his family's future.
Yeah.
His entire family's future. He couldn't write exceptions in without the whole thing falling apart.
Right, so you're entitled to
My
some money
book
then.
can definitively prove that Elias was not the paragon of virtue he's heralded as,
Okay.
and that my daughter and granddaughters are just as much family, at least in the eyes of the trust, as anyone else.
Damn right.
The Clancy Trust
Get 'em that
will
bag.
secure their future. They can decide what to do with their shares. But I'm old, and I'm not in it for the money. The truth has been eating away at me for years, but now I can set the record straight, thanks to you.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
As someone who enjoys searching for the truth, you might understand the power it has.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Whitewashing the past to protect the status quo can lead to repercussions in the present and future. I appreciate what you've done for me. The tree wasn't easy, and proving who EC was will be an uphill battle. That's what we were here to find out. If I can find my way into the trust, my share belongs to you.
Yo, we get some money. Oh,
Looking at the family tree on your wall, now with my father's, Everything finally feels complete. Unless a whole lot more Roottrees somehow appear from thin air, this is the last time I'll come knocking.
Oh, that's a shame. I would love to discover some more hidden Roottrees.
Thanks again.
I'd love to keep going.
So long.
Bye, Sam. Just slam the door in her face. Oh! Yeah! It received mixed reviews. Oh yeah, it's time to bookie. The Roottrees family faded from the news cycle. And then, everything changed. There's another mystery to solve. Roottrees Mania is now unlocked as a new game. What? Wait, what? There's more? I thought it was over. What? Okay. We obviously do not have time to keep going. I'm going to hit continue just to see what is about to happen right here. What does it mean? What does it mean continue? What else could there be? Oh, it's just the board. Wait, can we make the change? We can make the change. Oh, let's go. We can make the change. I'm afraid if I hit I'm ready, we're going to have to do that entire cutscene all over again. So I'll do that on my own after stream and just know that I've 100%ed the board. So that'll be nice. So let me just get back up to speed on Sam here. Inheritance money, time to buy our tickets to space. We're going to be joining Katy Perry and Gayle King in space. It's going to be awesome. So Sam's biological father was Elias Jr. I'm thinking that's correct. However, she was born, wait. Hold on. Or was EC her father? I'm not sure now. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I'm usually good at figuring out stories like that, but that one, just the names were so similar, like with the two being Edward Clancy and then Clancy Edward. Like I couldn't keep track of who was who. Like, I know there's Clancy Edward, Lauren Clancy Jr., their dad, and then there's Edward Clancy, EC. So Edward Clancy is her father. But then Howard, it's just not important. It's just not worth getting into. What is the blue arrow on the bottom of the board? The blue arrow thing is just the thing at the beginning we got, which is just saying the sibling order, which is the oldest start from the left, youngest go to the right. Yeah, that was all that was. Okay. Cool. Well, guys, we did it. God, this game was so fun. I love this game. This game was fantastic. Genuinely incredible. Crazy to think that there's other pieces of evidence I did not find. Like, there was a section about the will in here. I never found that. Where did that show up? Yeah, so there's other evidence I did not find. I'm not going to bother with it now because I don't really think it's important. But, yeah, that's going to be it. I don't know what this other game is that I was talking about. It said there was another game. What if I hit new game? I'm scared to do it. Who knows? I'll mess with it later myself. It's not important because we can't get into it today. If there is a new game and there is truly more, I'll probably stream it. I'll probably play it soon because I think this is awesome. This is so fun. But we'll get to that if it does exist next time. All right, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Be nasty. Thanks for hanging out. Noobs, if you're still hanging around, lurking as well, thank you for hanging out in the background. I appreciate it. Anyone else who is lurking, still watching, just got the stream up, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know some people love these kind of games. Some people don't. Me personally, I love games like this. Yes, they can be a slow burn. Yes, it can get kind of stagnant when I've hit a block, like it did in the middle of the stream today. But hey, that's just the way it goes. And I love these kind of games. I would definitely be looking to play more of these puzzle mystery kind of games because this was so fun. I loved this game. This was awesome. So definitely more to come. Not immediately though, because coming up next, I think I am going to be starting Resident Evil 3. Still, the jury is still out on that, but I think next is going to be RE3. I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited for that. I know a couple other people like Tess and B were excited to see that. I think that'll be next. Comment next Monday. Next Monday. And so we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling. So yeah, that's gonna be for me. I get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Have a good Friday. All that good stuff. Be safe. And until next time, I'll see you guys then. All right. Peace out. Bye. See ya. Peace.